And welcome everybody to World Team League 2022 Winter Qualifier Day 1. I'm of course your host, Light VIP, and with me is the one, the only, the casting cat himself. Welcome everyone, AsherBro.
Let's go, CranKy, correct and key.
Let's go,
correct and key.
For those wondering, we are here, of course, casting the World Team League qualifiers. We are casting our own match, the CranKy Ducklings. We are going up against 3D Family.
This is going to be the most biased casting of all time.
Yes, it will. For those wondering, exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the brackets. There is a very large bracket, but we only have one best of 7 to play out tonight. There are already a bunch of teams already playing out their games, and you can follow those streams over on their own Twitch channels. I believe the TL calendar has a bunch of streams already going on, a bunch of games going on, but this is the most important one.
This is the most important one, and the reason for that is because, spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have our very own CranKy Duckling. It is the Smoger himself, the Blue Terran. In the blue, it is Vindicta.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of data under the sea, we have the Russian Protoss player himself. He is orange, representing 3D Family. It is DefMars.
You know, he might not be a CranKy Duckling, but orange Protoss looks pretty good, so he's got that going for him.
What are you're sympathizing with the enemy right now, Asher. What are you?
I'm just saying, orange on Protoss looks good.
I agree. It's like a duck bill, or it's a duck. It's beautiful. It's amazing.
Yeah, maybe he's fighting for the jersey.
We're just gonna milk that until there's nothing
left.
We're
going straight into that. You thought this was gonna be a sensible cast.
You thought that we were
no.
You thought we were gonna cast some StarCraft, man. Aye. Oh god. But yes, we are here. We are in the first round, the first of many rounds, to quickly catch everyone up to speed. One best of 7, 1 round a day, 3 rounds in total. So the qualifiers for World Team League, they span over the course of 3 days. It's something a little bit unique, but it's also a little bit cool because it means that we can kind of take some time to prepare for our opponents.
Yeah, for sure. It does space those matches out a little bit. And with it already starting up, we do have a little bit more of an aggressive opener coming out of Vindicta. He is going for a double gas build. This is something that Mario has been doing quite a lot lately. And one thing that he has going for him in this situation is the Protoss player in this case actually might not know what's happening here, because he made it look like he was trying to take his natural and the probe left before he could take it.
Exactly. Looking at the vision here of DefMars, he didn't go all the way into the main base, so he isn't fully aware about whether or not there is a CC or what kind of opener follow-up there is. He may not care because he has his own things going on as well. He is going for a bit of a proxy pylon out in the middle of the map. Did still expand behind this, so everything back at home is looking relatively standard. I'm curious to see what he does, as he does throw down that Twilight Council.
Yeah, throws down the Twilight Council. That is in range of the jump up spot if Vindicta does choose to jump up and have another look, which I do think he will at some point. The other thing about this is, with the Twilight Council coming up, I do start to suspect this might be a proxy DT build.
I'm a little bit worried about that as well, right? Why else would you have a pylon up here towards the center of the map? It's looking a little bit sus, not gonna lie. And Vindicta still hasn't gone all the way into the main base again to figure out what the opener exactly is. We do see that the Reaper does avoid the Adept, and now he does finally get into the main.
Yeah, he does poke up here, and because the DT Shrine was just started, that Twilight is not researching, and that's a little bit sus. At this level, for the Twilight to not immediately be chrono boosting out an upgrade, this is going to be a little bit suspicious. But on the side of Vindicta as well, he is well set up to deal with this. This build does typically go into a Raven pretty quickly after the mine drop, so it shouldn't be too bad if that is what he opts to do.
Yeah, exactly. So far, it is that 1-1-1. We do have a medevac coming out here for that drop. Tech Lab is on the way, and I imagine we're going to be seeing a bit of an add-on switch, fingers crossed, because that Dark Shrine is halfway done, and we should be seeing some DTs on the way soon. Interesting. DefMars actually opts not to research Blink, but goes for Charge instead.
Yeah, with 3 gates coming up as well, this is a very aggressive variation. So this will be 4 gates in total already, and with the DTs as well, it is possible this could be a DT blink charge all in. There has been some pretty nasty builds where you can jump over the wall that's set up and really attack the wall from both sides with the DTs and the chargelets and break in that way.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I still remember back in the beginning of Legacy of the Void, there were a lot of pro players that were flirting with that idea. Nightmare being one of them. Here we go, the first DT is being morphed in. You were talking about it, this build does account for this, and we do have a Raven on the way, so Vindicta, he will have detection available to him. He doesn't just have to rely on scans, and now it's on DefMars to react because we do have that Widowmine drop that's about to hit the natural.
Yeah, this Widowmine drop is ready, and this Raven, it won't quite be out in time, but Vindicta does have a scan on his natural orbital. As long as he doesn't drop mules right now, he should be okay.
Oh! Oh!
Ooh, yes, very nice mine shots there, and another one in the main.
Oh no, the reaction is not there, and in the end, the mine shot will go off. 15 workers are going to go down. We have a scan back at home, DTs get cleaned up, and the Raven is out.
Yeah, even losing these few extra SCVs in the main, this is nowhere near the damage that DefMars has taken back at home, so Vindicta in a very good spot here, even taking out 2 of the DTs, so there's no potential for any Archon follow-up. The only thing we have to worry about now for Vindicta is dealing with the Chargelet follow-up.
Yeah, exactly, and he's kind of set up for that. We do have a full wall up here at the natural base. We have some tanks that are definitely going to help out as well. Ooh, DefMars, though, he is getting ready for that push.
Puppy, did you see that, Marine? There's a problem. The wall. It's not a wall.
I thought I saw something there. Did the Marine, does it slip between the eBay? Am I crazy?
No, the depot at the bottom. That's not walled off.
Oh no.
Yeah, I really like that Vindicta has one of his tanks on the high ground, and he isn't moving out with his tanks, which does kind of indicate to me that he has sniffed something out. His upgrades are still a little ways off anyway, so I don't expect him to be going for this, but this is a very strong push that's coming out the front here.
Yeah, exactly. Is it going to be enough? So far, the wall is a wall. We do see a disable on the first Archon. You love to see it, but the Chargers, they make it on through, and they're getting on top of the first tank.
Yeah, really nice disable on the Archon. That Archon kind of derping out. The AI not keeping it back, is trying to run forward and attack, and GG will have to be called just after that.
GG gets called. Vindicta able to muster a defense up in time for not just the DTs, but also the follow-up Archon Charger all in. And oh god, those Widowmine shots, they were juicy.
Yeah, really nice Widowmine shots there. Does manage to do more than enough damage that all he has to do is hold on from that point. And yeah, very nice win to start us off for Vindicta, coming in strong there.
Ooh, yeah, exactly. GG. And I was really anxious earlier. Now I'm a little bit more relieved. Not just because Vindicta took the first game, but also because I just got messaged and Dolan just woke up.
Nice. That's definitely a good start.
I was really concerned because I was sending out some messages and I was not getting any responses. So I was like, oh my god. But
you're gonna have to play like
like Asher, you know, we signed you for a reason, you know. Oh god. But yes, we do have some additional ducklings available, thankfully.
Yeah, there's always more ducklings in the duckling stand. In
the pond?
In the grape stand.
Yeah, in the grape stand. Exactly.
You know the duck where it's like, got any grapes?
Yeah.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the grapes. Yeah. That's why,
yeah.
Fun fact, the points in our chat are actually grapes.
Ah. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, there's always grapes in the grape stand.
Always, mate, always. And speaking of grapes being in the grape stand, the maps are currently in the stand as well, and DefMars has to choose wisely here. It is loser's pick, so it's going to be up to him where he wants to play and duke it out with Vindicta in game 2.
That was a stunning segue.
Thank you. I struggled a lot with that.
Beautiful stuff. You love to see it.
Beautiful, mate. Beautiful. Ooh, and we have our map, Asher. We are going to be dancing in the moonlight.
Trying to remember what that map is. Yes. Dancing in the moonlight. That's kind of a strong map for Terran, I would have thought. I guess the map pool hasn't really been out for long enough to be 100% sure, but I do feel like that's a very nice map for Terran, especially for a more defensive Terran. So I wonder if there's something special prepared.
Ooh, yeah, I wonder as well. How like what he has planned here. Are you feeling a proxy Stargate in the in the pocket?
I feel like it's a bit too obvious, to be honest, but it's possible. I don't know. That is a strategy that's quite strong here.
Yeah.
I know this is also, especially for the European players, I've noticed a trend that 4-gate blink is very heavily favored on this map. You have such a large amount of space in the main to rotate around, and you also have a lot of surface area to blink in. There's quite a few spots that you can blink in. So this is, if any map is going to be the 4-gate blink map, I think this is the one. So I wouldn't be shocked if that's what he goes for, but yeah, we'll have to see what he has prepared, because I do believe he did choose this map, and it's on his server advantage as well.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong about any of that. And we'll see where we end up here, how this series plays out, because spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Moondance, we have the CranKy Duckling himself, hailing from the land of the Americas. It is the Red Terran. It is Vindicta.
And this time, foregoing his orange regalia, it is in the blue, playing for the 3D clan, DefMars.
Do you think his team heard us? Do you think they're like, "Oi, why are you orange? Why, what? You're meant to be against the Ducks, puppy, against the Ducks."
Are you thinking of defecting?
Hey, to Mars.
to Mars? What? Is that what the orange? It's space dust. I would never be a duckling. I'm going to space.
I thought you were doing a play on words because his name starts with death. You know, it's the defecting.
Oh no! No, absolutely not.
I thought
you felt wrong.
I thought there were layers to what you were saying.
No. I can't do layers. It's past midnight. I do layers. I'm gonna get a headache.
Oh god, but here we go. So far, we do have the first probe coming out across the map. Vindicta immediately diving on it, making sure that, again, he doesn't get delayed. Also, making sure that it doesn't, like, you know, make its way here into the pocket, I imagine.
Yeah, and he is looking around for proxy gates. This is generally the location where you would put a proxy gate down if you're going to go for a plus proxy. And considering that Vindicta didn't SCV scout this game, I do like that he's checking for it there. He's also hiding this SCV so he can double check another time as well. Just making extra sure, especially after the first game, that nothing tricky is coming his way.
Yeah, exactly. He's crossing his T's, dotting his I's, you know, he doesn't want to get bamboozled. That's the scary thing about this format as well. Even though Vindicta has already taken a game, like, his opponent doesn't have to win a series. He just needs to take one game off his opponent and bam, he's knocked out. Like, you take your opponent down with you, essentially. Like, kind of like a suicide bomber or something. It's terrifying.
Jeez. He's gonna kill everyone, including himself.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Oh my god.
It's just a game, but okay. Meanwhile, yes, this time DefMars has not opted in Mars yet. Mate, if I can't go to Mars, no one's going. Yeah, meanwhile, a little bit of a different opener, so didn't opt to wall off at the front this time. So the Reaper does get in, it sees the Twilight Council, and is being such a nuisance now as well. But Vindicta was being very careful with his scouting, has been quite sure that there's no proxies, and there are no proxies. It does look like a blink play, but we'll have to see how many gateways are going to be going down.
Yeah, exactly. AsherBro pointing out, much more standard opener here from DefMars to not try and go for any kind of weird shenanigans. I'm surprised myself, and I'm sure Vindicta is, the fact that there aren't any proxies, that DefMars isn't going for anything too crazy here. He's going to be walling off already 3 gateways available to DefMars, but Vindicta is looking to try and find a way in, but there isn't a Def waiting for him. Up.
Yeah, so already going up to 3 gateways. Does get the scout in. Also has a Hellion Sharking around the natural as well, just for a bit of extra scouting at the front there. Will be denied by the Stalker, but sees the buildings in the wall. I want to say as well, Vindicta is playing like with a lot of confidence in this game, playing like he's a better player in terms of a lot of scouting and playing a more defensive macro build. So I think he's quite happy with how the first game went, and he's happy just to kind of sit back and receive whatever is coming his way.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of absorb whatever blows come at him, and I really respect that coming out from him as well. He's not kind of taking any risks here. He's getting a bunker. He's working on his tanks. He's getting his Raven out again, just in case it is going to be some kind of weird DT build or anything like that. Even though he did see the Twilight Council researching, we do have a 4th gate, by the way, so it is going to be 4-gate Blink Stalkers. But DefMars, it looks like he does intend to expand behind this.
Yeah, this is quite a delayed 4th gate. I wonder if a little bit of the pressure distracted him a little bit, or if this is just meant to be finishing as the pressure arrives at the other side of the map. This has been pretty well disguised so far, but with this Hellion at the front, he's going to be able to see that there's quite a lot of Stalkers, so he'll know that something's up, and he hasn't stopped making tanks yet, which is really good for him.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he has a tank on the high ground, tank on the low ground as well. DefMars has to be careful because looking at the vision of Vindicta, he actually does see the observer, and yeah, there we go. He is looking to snipe it. Without high ground vision, DefMars is going to have a hard time kind of rotating between the bases, and immediately the observer goes down.
Yeah, with the 3rd base going down and the charge, it does look like DefMars isn't going to be committing extremely hard to this, as you can sometimes do with the 4-gate. He does have the War Prism here, so he's just going to take whatever damage he can get at the front. And then after this, he can just be really annoying with 4 Stalkers in a War Prism. It is a variation to the 4-gate that a lot of people have been doing recently.
Yeah, exactly. There's still so much you can do, even if you don't commit. We already see that he is expanding behind this. 3rd base is already almost done. We see a scan by Vindicta. I imagine just keeping an eye on the Stalker count, seeing if there was another warp in, and seeing that there wasn't, it could tip him off that, okay, we're kind of transitioning from here. Already keeping up with the rotations as well, keeping up with any kind of army movement, and DefMars just hasn't really found a way in other than killing that one depot.
Yeah, I love this scan from Vindicta. Realizing that there's not going to be any extra Stalkers, he doesn't have to do anything like building a bunker in the main. He doesn't have to overreact to be 100% sure that he defends this. He can just continue with his build as normal. So he will have his stim and combat shields and 3rd base on the way. And with a 3rd tank coming as well, it does look like he's happy just to sit back for now.
Yeah, he's happy just chilling here. He will lose a couple more depots though in the process. He's going to try and shoo this away. So, you know, DefMars is actually, you know, accomplishing some damage here. He does actually supply block Vindicta quite a bit. So it's not like he's taking this line down. He's still continuing to probe up and tech up. He's going not just into charge, but also into Archons, charge slots and Archons.
Yeah, so his charge finishes up. This is going to be a very heavy gateway style. I believe he only just started his +1, so he will need to start to I do think he will need to look to get a little bit of damage done on 3rd base. But you can see some of the strength of this map for Terran. With that back base, he doesn't really have to venture out at all. He will send some Marines out now with this stim timing just to get a little bit of map control, but there's not really any pressure on him. He has his 3rd base up and mining, and he's in a decent spot already.
Yeah, pretty much. The only thing kind of that's going to be hindering him is the fact that the Prism is still out on the map. I say out on the map, it is looking to maybe sneak into the main base and try and backstab Vindicta, so potentially that could find a lot of damage. But Vindicta also just maintaining that map control, harassing as well, goes for a little bit of auto-tart harass here at the 3rd.
Yeah, and coming out of the starport now for Vindicta, he is making a Viking and a medevac. This does show that he's aware that the Warp Prism is around, so that Viking would just be on it'll just be on duty sitting around the main base, making sure that that Warp Prism isn't too much of a nuisance. Because as you were referring to, if that Warp Prism makes a round of charge lots, it's going to be very annoying.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see if DefMars pulls the trigger here as his entire army is moving out across the map. Once again, he hasn't lost too many probes across the map. He did only lose 2 to that Raven, but is able to catch. Almost does get 1 medevac.
Yeah, and he hasn't actually put back on mining at that 3rd base yet. The probe's only just going back now, so that's quite a hiccup to the mining, and Vindicta all over it, throwing down the turret straight away, so showing his speed as a player, which is one of his best attributes. But meanwhile, there's a big attack coming in at the front of his base.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Vindicta can focus everything on this attack because the Prism was hunted down by that Viking earlier. The boys are being pulled. The first tank will go down, but there is a tank on the high ground.
Yeah, and this is a very committed 3-base push. As I was referring to earlier, the upgrades are quite delayed, and there's no further upgrades coming, so this is just a +1 all-in, fairly all-in timing. And while a little bit of damage was done, I'm not sure if this is enough for DefMars just yet. This is not quite what he's looking for.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to break, not just hinder Vindicta here in this game. But as the game goes on, like, there are more tanks being pumped out. We have 3 already covering this choke point at the natural base. We see a scan Vindicta confirming the massive weapons. He knows how committed DefMars is.
Yeah, this is extremely committed coming out from DefMars. We do see the +2 started up, but without the double upgrades, this push needs to do damage. And Vindicta realizes what's going on. He's throwing down extra bunkers, extra tanks. He immediately evacuates the SCVs, and he will just be able to defend with the tanks on the high ground for now.
Yeah, exactly. The charge dots all get cleaned up. Now the tanks have full reign on the main army. The CC will get targeted down. So DefMars is doing a surprising amount of damage to the economy here of Vindicta. But what about that main army?
Yeah, this main army, a lot of units have been shaved off, and with 12 SCVs going down for Vindicta, this does bring DefMars back into the game, but Vindicta is by no means dead here. They're both... sorry, this push by DefMars was very dedicated.
Yeah, exactly. There's no 4th base behind this. I say that DefMars is expanding. He is now taking his 4th. We saw that his economy was hindered by this earlier, but he is transitioning. You know, he is looking to eventually, you know, get out of just this charged Archon composition. We have more Immortals on the way. +2 is on the horizon. The onus is going to be a little bit on Vindicta soon.
Yeah, this game is starting to look a little bit more even. That Raven was doing quite a lot of damage, and it did look like Vindicta was in a good spot, but losing his base here does set him behind a little bit. I do like that DefMars is staying here out on the map. He's keeping the pressure on, but I hope that he's not going to, well, for his sake, that he's not going to overcommit with these units, because Vindicta's in a very good defensive position.
Yeah, exactly. Especially because the 3 tanks survived from earlier. Now we have Liberators. We have Ghosts for EMPs. They were rushed out earlier. We even have the EMP upgrade as well. So yeah, pushing in here would be a bit of an overextension here. DefMars, it looks like he's going to try and pull Vindicta apart, and he does slip into the main base a little bit with a handful of zealots.
Yeah, Vindicta just splitting off a few of his units at the front here, and I don't think that DefMars will be committing at the same time as this.
Yeah, he's just going to be chilling here outside the main base, just poking, just prodding, really just making sure that Vindicta is stuck on 3 bases. You know, he just can't take a 4th here without really engaging into, pushing into DefMars' army. And you can't really do that, especially without bringing his tanks forward, without bringing his Liberators forward. And now we have that scan. Vindicta finally realizes that a 4th base has been taken.
Yeah, very important scan here, so he will realize that he does need to get a little bit of counter pressure across the map. Nothing too crazy, but I definitely hope to see maybe a drop coming out from him at some point. Once he's confident enough that he's defended at the front. But meanwhile, at the front, the attack is going in, and it's not going to get much done here.
Yeah, we were both talking about it, about how DefMars just doesn't need to push in right now. He's doing great back at home economically. I mean, you know, getting his 4th base, he could even take a 5th behind this as well. There's nothing really pressuring him from pushing into the natural, but maybe misjudging the situation a little bit. He does lose a lot of his army pushing in.
Yeah, I like that Vindicta is sending this Lib around to harass now, and it does look like he's feeling a bit more confident about his position. I do worry for DefMars that he is feeling a little bit too all in this situation, but we do see him now throw down a Robo base, some extra gates, even a 5th base, and his +3 attack. So we do have that drop snuck out from Vindicta that is going to cause a recall.
Oh, yeah, we have a recall on half of the army, so Vindicta being able to alleviate a lot of his pressure. We have a 4th CC on the way, so he can eventually expand. We still have that Liberator slipping in towards that 4th base location, and we just saw a recall, so DefMars is going to have to try and warp in back at home or bring something back.
Yeah, I really like this load up of the triple drop coming out to the left here. Vindicta's been very on top of his scans. He's been constantly scanning this army at the front to see how much is being committed, how much was split off in the recall. Scans once again here, so he's just constantly keeping tabs on how much defense he needs to keep at home and sending across anything that he doesn't need.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And hopefully he's judged the situation properly. I mean, we do already have 2 bunkers here. We have, what, 4 tanks being set up. And DefMars, I don't think he has that recall available again. And these drops, they're getting a little bit out of hand.
Yeah, Vindicta's just going to look to pick him apart here. Vindicta, a very fast player, very good at utilizing his harass, and this is going to bring the entire army home. And yeah, with that scan going down at the front here, Vindicta's going to realize that he finally has the space that he needs to take his force behind this.
Yeah, and oh no, the prism was left behind as well, so the prism is going to get sniped. 20 probes just went down. Eventually, DefMars will be able to clean up this harassment, these drops, but not before the damage has been done, and finally Vindicta can break out and expand and take a fourth.
Yeah, Vindicta has been so patient in this game, and it's finally paid off, and he is going to be able to set up this same defensive position at his fourth, which completely opens up the game for him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there is still a window here where, again, the tanks aren't quite in position. We don't have any follow-up bunkers here either to really fortify this location. So DefMars is going to be pushing in, and depending on the angle, he could get on top of the tanks.
Yeah, he's going to have to get right on top of the tanks, but this isn't the best angle for him. The Archon's kind of forcing their way in, getting blanket EMP'd, and Vindicta's just going to keep fighting back. If he can clean up this army, that's pretty much the game in the bag for him. And it looks like it's going to be very close here.
Oh, it's going to be very close. The boys were pulled as well. It looks like with the bunker finishing up, Vindicta will barely have enough to hold on. He does lose 13 SCVs in the process, but that was a great fight for Vindicta.
And I gotta say, I didn't even notice it, but he did manage to sneak out a single drop to the left and took out the base.
Wow. Oh my god, the 5th base went down. I didn't notice either, so Vindicta didn't even have his entire army here to defend. And the reason why I say that fight went so well is because the Archon count was reset. The Colossus count was reset as well. We don't even have a Prism. We do have a couple of straggling reinforcements coming across the map. You know, one Colossus, one Archon, but I don't know if it's the wisest choice to push up this ramp.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the supplies, they're both in a very low supply situation, but Vindicta's just too far ahead here, and DefMars is going to have to call GG. Brilliantly played by Vindicta, really patient, and gets the 2-0 win, so he will knock DefMars out.
Wow, GG, well played. Vindicta does take the series 2-0, but I gotta, you know, respect where respect is due, right? DefMars, there was a point there where, like, he was containing Vindicta to 3 bases. He was expanding on his own behind this. You know, he was threatening him. Like, he felt like in a pretty commanding position. There were just a couple of things that really pulled him apart, specifically the drops, the harass that Vindicta was so on top of.
Yeah, absolutely. DefMars took it to Vindicta in that game, and considering there's a little bit of an MMR disparity here, there's a very impressive game coming out from him because, as you were saying, he was in the driver's seat for a lot of that game, and he did manage to kind of have the momentum on his side. So, yeah, very well played by both players, and congratulations to Vindicta, who takes that 2-0 to put CranKy Ducklings into the lead.
Here we go. We have that 2-0 lead here for the CranKy Ducklings. This means that Vindicta will stay on, as it is an all-kill format, and now it's on 3D Family, on 3D Clan to pick their player, and oh, looks like they have... No, never mind. Looks like they are still deciding that when it comes to who they want to send out.
Yeah, they're still just trying to decide who they're going to send out. So the way that this format works, I believe Vindicta stays on. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Vindicta will stay on to face the next player. With this particular format, if you 2-0, you do stay on. So there is a potential for all kills as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we'll have to see who they're able to send. But it looks like Vindicta's in very good form today, despite the early start.
Oh yeah, he is on fire. And I'll be honest, your versus Protoss is what you need to be good at if we want to win this series, because Team 3D Clan, they have a lot of Protoss players in their arsenal, in their roster. I believe they have nothing but Protoss except for one lone Zerg. So yeah, because of that, we can kind of prepare ahead of time. You know, our players mentally are already probably thinking about what builds they want to be doing, how they want to approach this. And yeah, that's kind of that's maybe a little bit of an advantage that we have coming into this.
Mate, if there's one thing I can tell you about Vindicta, he's thinking about Protoss 24/7. We got it covered.
Whether he wants to or not, you know, I know there are times where I'm like, "Papi, what's up?" And he's like, "Ah." Colossus. It's okay, puppy. Calm down. You know, it's okay. You played against me. You played against Trigger like 2 months ago. He's not here anymore. He's not here.
The Protoss isn't real. It can't hurt you.
It's a hallucination, puppy. Don't worry.
It was Haluk.
Yeah, you know, for better or for worse, you know, Vindicta, he's out here getting ready to face off against all the Protoss players. The our opposing team 3D Clan, they're still picking their player, and I at least have confirmation that, you know, if worse comes to worse and if Vindicta does get eliminated, we do have a couple of players here, a couple of the Ducklings ready, you know, not just Dolan waking up. Starduck has stayed up as well. Eric is also available, you know, he's been here since the beginning, so you know, we got our roster, we got our ducks, we're ready, mate.
Mate, we got it all. We got the depth, we got the power, we got the grapes,
We got the Zerg.
the grapes of wrath.
The grapes of wrath, mate. Let's go. Wrath?
Wrath?
It's wrath.
No, wrath.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that word. I'm just saying it correctly.
Is that a meme that I don't know? Is that...
No?
What do you mean?
I just talk properly.
Wait, it's wrath. It's wrath.
You know, I just Googled it. I clicked on the little speech bubble. It like says it to you, and it says wrath.
Hold on.
I'm gonna link it to you.
Hold
this
on.
is for real. I wouldn't joke about.
It's
I wouldn't
wrath.
joke around about
It's
this.
wrath.
It is. Get out.
It's wrath.
Get out, lad.
Oh my god.
You know what? You don't have to get out. You learned something new today.
Yeah, look, mate, you know, ESL, right? English second language, okay? You know, I was born and raised in the land of the Latin America, you know? Like, what do you want from me? Okay, I don't... Wrath? I don't know. Wrath? Who knows? Not me.
The more you know.
Oh my
and
god.
knowing is half the battle.
Knowing is half the battle, mate. Is half the battle. Oh boy. I'm seeing what you linked me. The chat got to hear it as well. Hold on, I'll do it again.
Rough.
Rough.
Wrath. This is very important. Very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, meanwhile, we do have the team still just deciding who they're going to send out. I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to go out and face Vindicta. It's too powerful. Too strong.
Too strong, mate. Too strong. And we have our player here. I'm not too familiar with him, but it is going to be a player known as Lightweight.
Ooh. I like that name.
Yeah.
Lightweight, baby.
The Lightweight is going to be coming out. I don't quite see him, so he may be in the land.
DT?
He may be invisible. Yeah. Oh my god.
You need detection, puppy.
Yeah. He may actually be over in NA. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna quickly hop over and find our player. But yeah, again, at least we do have an opponent.
Yeah, so we've got our opponent sorted out, and would that be another Protoss opponent as well?
Oh, let me check Wikipedia.
These are the important questions, you know.
True. As I quickly just check here. Okay, and it looks like he is Protoss.
There we go. So we do have the Protoss. As Vindicta would say.
What are you doing?
That's my best impression of his. Do you know his sub alert?
Yeah.
Where he's like,
Do I do it again?
Heck, Protoss.
My God.
I need to sleep more.
No,
I really do.
It's okay. No, this is what the people want. You know, this is the kind of duckling content that people subscribe for. Okay.
True. All right, we're good.
Oh god, all right, here we go. So we are hopping over to land of North America. We have our players being set up as well. As a reminder, this is the best of two, so after this game we will be hopping back over to Europe, you know, for as balanced a matchup as we can get.
Yeah, so they will take turns having the server advantage. Must be nice. I'll try not to be a salty Australian. Sounds nice.
Oh god.
Aye. Yeah, so it looks like we do have our next matchup, and we will be playing it on Inside and Out. So it is the Protoss player Lightweight, not to be confused with Light.
Yes, I am not playing. I know it looks a little bit deceiving, but I am not Protoss. I'm not Protoss.
Maybe this is your true potential. Maybe this is what you could achieve if you switch to Protoss.
If only, mate. If only. I can't. I don't want to know. I don't want to be the cause of my children's nightmares. Okay.
Oh no. Ay. Meanwhile, speaking of the nightmares, it is a teal Protoss for the 3D clan spawning in the top right hand corner of the map. It is Lightweight.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside and Out, we have the CranKy Duckling himself, hailing from the land of North America. It's the Red Terran. It is Vindicta.
Shout out to Jadolf in the chat, who does remember the meme that I was looking for. What? Oh yeah, baby, Lightweight.
I don't know who that is.
It's fine. I don't really either. Sounds familiar.
Fair enough. Oh god, but here we go. We're continuing our series here. Hopefully Vindicta doesn't get OD'd by TVP. I don't I know that I definitely could as a Zerg player. It's happened to me before, but I wish the best of luck to Vindicta, not just his play but also his sanity.
Yeah, as a Zerg player, when you get a few TVPs in a row, that is definitely cause for concern. But Vindicta, he does play a lot on the NA server, so I think he's used to his best of 10 versus Protoss. That just sounds like a stream, just a normal stream.
Yeah, I remember him telling me about how some days he just has a full ladder session and he hits one Zerg. And it's just,
There's actually just one Zerg at that level on
Uko.
NA ladder.
It's just Uko, that's it.
It's just Uko. It's just all 20 of his accounts.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Oh, God. So he is ready for this mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Oh, boy. We'll see what Lightweight has to offer as already, okay, pretty standard so far. I say pretty standard. I was curious if he cancelled this, but no, he goes for a Zealot first.
Yeah, this is something that's been a little bit more popular recently. Just sending that Zealot straight across the map, it can be really annoying to deal with for the Terran if they go for a faster expand. And we do see that Vindicta is taking his expand on the low ground, but I like this for him. He isn't going for a fast reactor this time, going instead for a second Reaper. And this is one of the variations that Mario has been doing with this build, and it will shape up a lot better against his Zealot opening.
Yeah, exactly. It does mean that he will have a second Reaper back at home in time for that Zealot. That Zealot, by the way, is just chilling here on the left-hand side of the map. He hasn't pulled the trigger yet. He hasn't gone towards that natural base location. He's just waiting for the opportune moment. And that will mean that the second Reaper comes out for Vindicta, and again, will not be at home.
Yeah, so this second Zealot on the left here, I have a feeling he was making it hoping that Vindicta would be going for a fast expand and that he could be a nuisance on the low ground here. And seeing as Vindicta's going for a double gas, he does recognize that, and I think this Zealot will be mostly used for spotting the units, but he does actually opt to send it in now.
Yeah, and now he's going in. I mean, it's kind of lined up to the point where, you know, the Reapers are across the map, same can be said for the Hellion, but the CC is almost done. We'll see how much damage this Zealot can get done there at the natural base. At the same time, Vindicta does get into the main.
Yeah, no battery in the main here, so these Reapers are going to be able to do equivalent damage, and they get a lot of scouting done. Meanwhile, the Hellion coming in at the natural as well, creating a lot of problems for Lightweight already.
Oh, yeah, exactly. 2 probes already going down. Eventually, the Hellion will get dealt with. At the same time, across the map, Widowmine shot did go off. Looking at the units tab, it looks like the Zealot did get 1 SCV, but only 1, and Vindicta, you know, he's going to be able to get his natural base up and running.
Yeah, really nicely handled there by Vindicta, and he does also send out this mine just to catch any units out on the map, so he's going to play a little bit more of a defensive style in this game as well, and he'll send those Reapers back in just to get a little bit of a scout, so he's going to see he's going to see something researching on the Twilight. I like that he's wrapped this Reaper around as well, so you'll get a little bit of extra scouting, that there are no extra gases being taken and no third being taken, so a little bit suspicious already.
Yeah, exactly. At least confirming, you know, all the pylons, making sure that there is no... Oh my god.
Oh no.
There is no Dark Shrine or anything crazy like that, but mate, is this intentional? We have +1 ship armor for Lightweight?
Oh dear. This is gonna be a Smoja. I think he's going into Skytoss.
I've never seen this before. I've actually never seen this research in a TVP this quickly. You say Skytoss, but he's getting a robo behind this, you know, for the Zealot. Maybe it's a bit of, maybe there's layers here to this opener for Lightweight, you know, he's going just for charge outs to harass, apply a little bit of pressure, and then go into Skytoss, if this is intentional.
Yeah. I think you do need to have a few units at the start anyway, just to survive. You can't go straight into Skytoss, because there aren't really any air units for the Protoss that are that strong against a straight-up push. They're more used for harassing and that sort of thing, and eventually getting to a very nice critical mass. So he will need to take his time getting to Skytoss if that is his plan. But I've seen people get +1 air attack early, but yeah, +1 armor's a new one. I guess he just wants a head start on those upgrades.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Like, talk about investing into like the future, into like 10 minutes into the game, because he threw down a bay, he's throwing down more gateways. Like, again, if this is intentional, he is thinking far and far ahead, maybe a little bit ambitious, assuming that he can survive that long for that to actually pay off. I mean, props to him if he does, like, let's be real. I'm curious to see if as soon as this is done, +1 attack gets started.
Yeah, I think it will, but this is so far a very defensive opener coming out from Lightweight, so it does look like he will be really happy just to sit back, to start getting some Colossus started with that Robo Bay as well, and play a very defensive style. He has the Observer in the main as well, so once he sees that Vindicta starts to go for a push, he can start warping in some units, and he'll just grid out as many probes as he can before this, so I think this one's going to be going the distance.
Boy, we'll see if he can survive and go that distance. So far, a little bit of Raven harass here, just denying some mining time, whatever he can. At the natural, we see a scan into the main base, confirming the Colossus production here for Lightweight. And +1 armor did finish, by the way. I'm waiting to see if he starts +1 attack, because, you know, we're theorizing about the Skytoss, and I'm on board. You know, I want to see it. It's crazy. It's not, you know, what we usually see here in TVP, but so far it's not really been made use of.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out, because if I do have to be a little bit critical, I think if you're not going to go into a fast +1 air attack, it is a little bit of an inefficient opener. That gas could have gone to something else in the early game.
Yeah, definitely. Whether it would have been like for a forge for ground upgrades instead, or going into a faster Twilight Council upgrades as well. Meanwhile, it looks like the Observer has been dealt with, so now Lightweight is a little bit in the dark when it comes to the army move out from Vindicta. As he is pushing out, he's getting a third base behind this, but again, much later. So we'll see how much Vindicta can get done across the map as he scans and confirms the Colossus count.
Yeah, this is a set play that I really like against Colossus openers, that I know that Vindicta likes to go for a lot. He does have a double drop in the bottom right hand corner. I think it was a little bit of a misclick that wasn't sent in, and I do want to point out as well, really good map vision by Lightweight. He actually spotted that drop with a probe in the bottom right hand corner.
Oh my god, yeah, great scouting. Meanwhile, at the same time, the main army does get on top of these tanks. The first, the second tank will go down, but at the cost of every single Zealot, and oh my god, that tank survives!
Yeah, this is beautifully done by Vindicta. Just by sitting all his drops in that main dead space and having his drops seen as well, that's a lot of army that has to be committed to the right there. So he realizes this third is a little bit weakly defended.
Yeah, exactly. At the same time, there was also a little bit of auto harass at the natural base as well. The charge-outs are getting cleaned up one after the other. Again, they do not have any upgrades, not even any armor upgrades, because there was no forge. And without that, these Colossus are looking incredibly exposed.
Yeah, this has been really well played by Vindicta. You can see it. One of his best strengths as a player is his speed, his ability to multi-prong. And he's able to take these fights really well on the front, while also having harass at different sides and just abusing that speed that he has. And he's still getting extra damage with that Raven. He's gotten so much value out of that.
Yeah, exactly. Another auto turret being thrown down. Doesn't get a lot of probe kills, but again, just more lost mine time. As you were pointing out earlier, this drop here never went in, but Vindicta, he knew that he was being spotted. He knew that he had been seen, so he was just keeping all of the supply tied up elsewhere. And behind this, Vindicta finally is up and running on 3 bases. Ghost Academy's on the way. Sensor towers as well. He did some great damage earlier, and now he can just chill.
Yeah, Vindicta finds himself in a really nice spot here. The Protoss hasn't been allowed to take a fourth, and with that double drop just sitting there constantly, he is going to be able to tie up a lot of the supply of the Protoss for a long time in this game, and that's just a constant threat, something that's always in the back of the mind of the Protoss that makes it a little bit more difficult for them to achieve map control.
Exactly. Despite all that map vision earlier. In saying that, there is a proxy pylon out here, and it looks like Lightweight is setting up for a bit of a run by. Again, there is a lot of potential for this to deal damage, especially because Vindicta hasn't spotted this whatsoever. He hasn't seen that pylon. Instead, he's more focused here in the middle of the map, just scanning the army, making sure he's fully aware of its location.
Yeah, I have to say for Lightweight, he has shown throughout this game that he's a very strong player in terms of his understanding of the timings and also his scouting. He's been really on top of his scouting of all the moves that Vindicta's been going for. And I believe as well with his Zealot run by in the bottom right-hand corner, he's waiting for the fourth to start to be established. And once the SCVs are transferred, that's when he's going to send those in.
Yeah, exactly. Just waiting for that moment. At the same time, though, Vindicta actually skirts his way across the map. He does run into the Stalker army, but there is no splash damage here, and it looks like Vindicta will be the one denying this fourth.
Yeah, a really low commitment attack that is able to deny the fourth. That's really nice play coming out of Vindicta, and he's going to be able to shave off some of these Zealots as well as he runs away.
Yeah, exactly. Nice Widowman shot going off as well. Vindicta, he didn't have to commit. He loses a minimal amount of units here in the attack. At the same time, Lightweight also wants to try and punish that fourth base. The fourth, though, that doesn't quite exist.
Yes, roughly the timing that he would expect this to be starting to come in, but it looks like that fourth only just going down now, so maybe a little bit of distractions for Vindicta during this game. But considering that he's been able to delay the fourth of the Protoss so much, probably just playing it safe as well.
Yeah, exactly. There's no need to really pull the trigger too soon, right? Especially when you're doing such a great job at having this delicate dance and like poking away at your opponent and chipping away at their economy. Speaking of, we see another Raven here towards the third base location. Doesn't go for the auto turret yet. Probably waiting for a push to go for both at the same time. And Lightweight has diversified his splash damage. He does now have disruptors.
Yeah, meanwhile, a mine drop coming down on that third. Really nice scan, identifying that the units were not in position. And these mines, as Lightweight is going into this Colossus composition, they're not going to be so useful for Vindicta, so he's happy just to trade them out for some probes.
Yeah, 7 probes go down, not bad at all. Meanwhile, Lightweight was actually trying to hunt down that Raven, but the Raven was barely able to avoid detection of those Stalkers and does end up surviving. Lightweight, though, he does now not just have a diversified splash damage, Dark Shrine is about to finish up as well, so he's looking to be a little bit more aggressive. That run by earlier is looking to dive in once again as the Observer gets picked up in the middle of the map.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm not really understanding what the game plan coming into this was for Lightweight, because he hasn't been able to use that +1 air armor at all, and he hasn't continued down the path of air upgrades to this point. And this is his +1, only just getting towards finishing now. And considering the kind of army that he's going for, the attack upgrades are really important.
Yeah.
Having the attack upgrades on the Colossus makes such a difference.
Yeah, exactly. I was noticing that earlier as well. Like, his forges were so late. Maybe he had a certain game plan to begin with, and as the game unfolded, he kind of switched gears. Because of that, his chargers were having a hard time. Like, +1 armor only like recently finished up as well for the Protoss army. He now has 1-1, which is great and all, but he's being outscaled quite a bit, as 2-2 is already more than halfway done for Vindicta.
Yeah, I think this delayed fourth from Vindicta was actually recognizing that there were no army upgrades coming out from the side of Lightweight, and I believe that he thought it was going to be a 3-base all-in.
Yeah, potentially, especially after denying that fourth base. Meanwhile, here we go, Vindicta's going to be engaging. He has so many Vikings here. We see a Disable already on one of those Colossi, and the Disruptor, the Novas, they're just not going off.
Yeah, really nice fight here for Vindicta. He's just got more supply, better upgrades, manages to dodge all of the disruptor balls. None of those landing means that he just has a superior army here, and that's a lot of army going down for Lightweight. This is so much momentum on the side of Vindicta, and I think he's just going to be able to push across the map and take yet another win.
Yeah, exactly. Every single Colossus, every single Disruptor did go down in that engagement. Lightweight did go for a bit of a Zealot run by, but we had a tank, we had a Liberator. There was plenty at home to defend. Vindicta holds onto his third base, and I don't know if I can say the same for the fourth of Lightweight.
Yeah, this base is going down. Only Stalkers here to defend it, and they are not upgraded, so GG is called, and Vindicta going to take yet another match going into this one. So that does secure Lightweight as being knocked out, but now Lightweight can play this next game to try to knock Vindicta out himself.
Oh, exactly. GG. Lightweight does bow out there in that first game, but it's his map pick, and again, he can still bring down Vindicta with him. As a reminder, we are going to be heading over to the land of Europe.
Yeah, so the ping advantage will be against Vindicta this time, and we'll have to see what's going to be coming out from Lightweight. I wonder if there were a little bit of tournament nerves just coming into that previous game. Obviously, Vindicta, a player with probably a little bit more tournament experience necessarily than Lightweight. We did see that he really took his time throughout that game, and maybe Lightweight wasn't really able to play the exact game that he was hoping to. So we'll have to see if he has something different planned for this one.
We will see. I mean, from my understanding, he can pick any map. I don't think there's like a veto process for that sort of thing. It's just, you know, whatever you want to go for. So we'll see what he decides to land on in the end. Yeah, I'm curious because I do think maybe it was nerves. I don't think that upgrade, that +1 air armor, was intentional. That's why it was so weird to us, right? Like, we were trying to piece it together. We were trying to be like, okay, maybe he's like, again, headed towards a certain direction, and it's gonna be like a big brain play, and it's gonna pay off later on in the game. But he never was able to fully make use of it, and it just set himself behind in so many other ways, especially when it came to those Forge upgrades.
Yeah, the Forge upgrades especially, that was a very significant thing. It did look like in the end he played a very standard style, and just lacking those upgrades meant he kind of was going for a little bit of an all-in timing, but the pressure of Vindicta never really gave him the move to kind of seize that opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. So Lightweight has to go back to the drawing board for this one, and Vindicta gets a chance at enjoying even more of this TVP, of these TVPs. As it looks like we have our players. They're just going to be picking their maps. Oh boy. What are you feeling like? If you're a Protoss player, you're up against Vindicta, you've already seen a little bit of his play, you've seen him go up against your teammate in DefMars. Like, what kind of map would you want to go for? What kind of style would you want to go for?
Honestly, considering I was kind of thinking that the style that we were thinking he was going for a fast kind of turtling robo air carrier style, I think that's a really good way to deal with some of the skills that Vindicta has. He's a very fast, aggressive player, and having such a good defensive composition can kind of negate some of the differences that you might have in multitask ability. I think as well, maybe Stargazers would suit that kind of style. That is the kind of map that Stargazers is generally what you want to ban out as a Terran against a Protoss, but it looks like we're going to have Cosmic Sapphire instead. Also a nice map for Protoss.
Yeah, not a bad map at all, and I definitely agree. I definitely agree with you in the sense that I really liked the idea of abusing the fact that Vindicta's playing it safe, right? Like, I think we saw him do that in the second game against DefMars. We kind of saw it here against Lightweight as well, just playing very safe, very secure, nothing too crazy, nothing too outlandish, and maybe being able to be greedy as a result and get away with that greed in certain respect. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that. Maybe we'll see it here. It's up to our opponents.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is a map that does favor a much more defensive style as well in Cosmic Sapphire, but it does look like we have a little bit of a delay to the start of this game.
Yeah, it looks like we're having some PC issues here. It's a bit of a shame, but you know, we're more than willing to wait. As it looks like Lightweight has crashed. So thank you, Blizzard. Oh god. As he is going to be making his way back here.
Yeah, so we'll just have a small delay here, but yeah, going back to the map choice of Cosmic Sapphire, this is a map that you can quite comfortably get up to 3 bases on, and if we do see him going for that Colossus style again, I do think that he will have a bit more of a comfortable setup here. So yeah, as we do have Lightweight joining now, and we have both the players ready, and we are good to go.
Oh yeah, just waiting for Vindicta to confirm that he's ready as well, and then we can begin our next game. Oh boy, beautiful. Players are ready, our opponents are ready. You can hear the beeps. We are loading into Cosmic Sapphire.
Do we have memes for Cosmic Sapphire?
You know what?
Got any memes?
It's just for you, mate. You can make up your own meme for Cosmic Sapphire.
Well, I remember this is... Oh no, that was Chase. Chase had some story about a probe going into a bathroom.
I remember that.
Anyway, I'm going to abandon that train of thought immediately. As we have spawning in the bottom right hand corner, hailing out of the land of Kazakhstan. It is the Protoss player playing for 3D Clan in the blue. It is Lightweight.
And spawning in the top left. I'm still thinking of the joke. In the top left-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire, we have the CranKy Duckling himself, the American Terran. It is Vindicta.
I'm not going to do it. I really want to.
Probe walks into the bar, goes into the bathroom.
It's dead on arrival, man. The bartender says, "Please, sir, no smoging in the bathrooms."
Oh my god.
I never noticed that that little conveyor belt outside of the natural of Vindicta. There's some like glowing dice right outside the natural. There's glowing dice there. Do you reckon that's like the space version of fluffy dice on the dashboard?
I'll be honest, I don't know what you're looking at.
Right next to the ramp in the main.
Oh.
Do you see the dice?
Yeah.
Are they like, the fluffy dashboard dice?
Yeah. Oh, mate, imagine if we could like change what's on the conveyor belt.
Do you think they're scented?
No.
Oh, okay.
What are you? Did you say scented or censored?
Yeah, like Pine Fresh.
Oh, okay. Oh my god. Do you have floppy dice?
No, I don't have a car, man. I guess I could just wear some fluffy dice around my neck when I walk around.
That'd be pretty sick, you're not gonna lie.
Maybe we're starting a new fashion statement. Some scented dice. I'll be like, mate, are you evergreen?
Oh my god, you would always smell amazing.
Yeah.
Why don't people do that?
I wouldn't be able to breathe, but neither would anyone else. It's genius.
It's genius, mate. It's beautiful. Oh my god.
Yeah, meanwhile, we do have... No, nowhere. It's, again, it's dead on arrival. Just leave it be. It's okay. Meanwhile, we do have this bunker.
Probe walked into a bar. Go on.
No. No, I'm done. Like, tell me what's happening here. What's going on?
We do have a bunker being thrown down across the map and back at home for Vindicta, mate. He's all about them bunkers, and with this, he's denying so much mining time. Oh my god, there's no shield battery on the way, by the way, so Lightweight is having a pretty late response to this.
Yeah, mate, Vindicta says, I'm defending my base with a bunker. Looks like you haven't defended your base, so I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to build you a bunker.
Yeah, and this is delaying so much mining time. For those wondering, typically to deal with this, as soon as the bunker has been scattered, we have a pylon on the low ground, we start a shield battery to help power up a stalker, and we can power our way through the bunker and eventually force a salvage, but this has already just done so much damage.
Yeah, it has done a lot of delayed mining time. I really like this opener. This is a really nice way just to keep on top of things, but one thing that I will note is that Vindicta wasn't able to get a scout on this Stargate, and seeing two Stalkers as well does throw the scent off a little bit.
Yeah, if only he was wearing those lucky dice.
True. That would help.
Oh, and
scent.
Yeah, and Vindicta, being unaware about what the opener was, he goes for a scan, he does confirm the Stargate, also confirms that there is a Phoenix on the way as well, so he knows about the commitment into Skytoss units. Oh, but the first Oracle is here, and he only has Vanilla Marines to deal with this.
Yeah, once again, I think Vindicta's taking the confident defensive approach here, where he does feel like he is the stronger player in this situation, so while normally that scan would be a little bit of an expensive commitment, he just wants to know what's going on so he's not being caught off guard by anything unexpected. And he will be able to go into a pretty standard opener for dealing with this Stargate.
Yeah, exactly. We already have a Widowmine in the mineral line. We have Vikings. We have Cyclones on the way, plural, because we do have multiple Phoenixes. And Lightweight is going for this more, I guess, active style, right? Where we have Phoenixes combined together with Chargelets.
Yeah, so one of the things that I will point out is two of the ways that you can deal with two ways that there are to deal with Stargate as Terran is you can play for this normal 3-rack style that we have been seeing Vindicta go for in all of these games, or you can also throw down a fast 3rd CC and try to get an economic lead. And that's a style that's really good against Colossus, but not so good against Charge. So it's definitely good for Vindicta in this situation that he is playing the more army-focused style rather than the more economic style.
Yeah, again, just reading the situation very well Vindicta has so far, especially again confirming how much of a commitment there was going to be to that Sky Toss. It does mean that it's going to take a while for him to really, have a presence on the map. I don't know if it's really a wise choice to move out with his Cyclones, because you don't want to be caught out by a mass amount of Phoenixes, so he's going to be chilling here at least until his upgrades do finish.
Yeah, he's happy just to sit back and defend for the moment. Meanwhile, on the side of Lightweight, just throwing down those Oracle Revelations, keeping an eye on everything that's coming out on the side of Vindicta, and starting to bank up those Phoenix as well. So, having not really sent the Phoenix across yet, it does look like he's going for more of a defensive style. But Vindicta throwing down that scan doesn't see 2 gas. He will be aware that this isn't a Colossus play coming out from the side of Lightweight.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, a pretty crucial scout there at the natural base, able to gather whatever information he can. With that as well, I thought Lightweight was going to start moving out. Quickly looking at the units tab, he does have 5 Phoenixes, about to have 6. With this, it is honestly a great force to start harassing, but he also knows he got scouted, so he should be aware that Vindicta has an army waiting for the Phoenixes to jump out. So yeah, it's a little bit of a game of chicken here, like who shoots first.
This is a little bit of an interesting choice to bank these Phoenix. I'm not sure if I really love it in this situation. I wonder if he was hoping that Vindicta would be going for that drop play again and he could clean it up that way. But he is, opting to be very passive with his units so far.
Yeah, exactly. And Phoenixes are one of those things, especially when it comes to energy-based units, is that you want to be expending that energy. You want to be making use of them because they have so much value, so much potential. Being stuck at home, it is kind of dead supply for the time being. Not really an investment that's really made it worthwhile for Lightweight, as it looks like he is trying to transition, throwing down 2 of these forges.
Yeah, meanwhile, Vindicta throwing down the scan at the 3rd of Lightweight there, realizes that this is not an army that you want to push into. This is a really good short-term army coming out from the Protoss, and he's happy just to take his 3rd, and he's just going to sit back, he's just going to chill. This isn't something that you really want to push into as the Terran until your supply is a little bit higher, so we're seeing him going into a really fast Ghost Academy, and he'll be looking to go for a push a little bit later on, so a little bit of a later timing.
Yeah, exactly. And again, this is something that was kind of figured out, especially against Swarm Toss. That was a little bit popular, or more popular, a couple of months ago, where I think Haas would just be ultra greedy and throw down just mass gateways and not even invest at all into Sky Toss or into Robo units. And Terrans kind of learned the hard way that the best way to deal with it is to just stay at home, wait for them to come to you, don't get caught in the middle of the map, don't get caught across the map against a wave of charge lots.
Yeah, so Vindicta just continuing to throw down those scans, does send out a Marine and scouts that the force is being taken. Also manages to catch these Phoenix really far out on the map, so this is a bit similar to when you're dealing with mutas as a Terran. The further away from your base that you can catch these units, the more you can mitigate any risk, and we can see that Vindicta's done a really good job getting a lot of map vision out on the map. He has mines spread out in all the key push locations, so he's playing a very strong defensive game here, but looks like both players pretty happy to go into this mid game very passively.
Yeah, kind of nerve rush 10 to 15 minutes here from our players. You're talking about it again, it is still, I think, favoring Vindicta a little bit just because these Phoenixes haven't done too much. Finally, they do pick off a Marine, and they're looking to maybe slip into a mineral line. What do we have here to defend? We have a Ghost. It's also a little bit vulnerable. It does get picked up.
A bit unlucky to not get the EMP off there. Does get another EMP off, splashing all of the Phoenix, so that takes out a lot of the potential damage. And with 1-1 and EMP range finishing up with Vindicta here, he does have an upgrade timing now that he might want to start to get a little bit of damage with.
Yeah, and I mean, now may be a good moment because sure, Lightweight is investing into Colossus, into splash damage, but Extended Thermal Lance is still in the way. We only have 1 Colossus to work with. Like, again, splash damage was delayed so much just because of the openers. So yeah, Vindicta, there may be a window here as Lightweight actually pushes out.
Yeah, interesting choice by Lightweight to push out here. I do worry that this is a little bit of an anti-timing from him, but if he is just looking to clean up a little bit of the map vision, this is a nice play here.
Yeah, just threatening a little bit, just, you know, making sure Vindicta is a little bit honest, forcing him to stay back at home while he works on his Colossus count. A second Robo is now on the way. We do have a Temple Archives as well, just to diversify our splash damage even more. Again, Lightweight has to kind of catch up in that respect, but so far he's doing a really good job at just giving himself some breathing room. I say that as Vindicta is moving out.
Yeah, I did refer to it a little bit when you were asking what maps might be nice to be chosen by Lightweight, that it might be good for him to play a more defensive sit-back style and not be having to deal so much with the multitask, but it does look like he has been caught a little bit out of position here, but Vindicta just choosing to be very careful with his units.
Yeah, as soon as the Zealot gets revealed, Vindicta's like, nah, mate, I wanna get the hell out of here. I don't know where that main army is. I don't know how far away he is. I don't know if he is or isn't out of position. So Vindicta doesn't risk it. He also deflects a little bit of Phoenix harass across the map as well, scans, and finally does get confirmation of the location of that army.
Yeah, so with Vindicta starting to take his 4th now as well, I do think he'll want to be starting to trade out a little bit of his army. He is maxed now, so he'll want to increase the quality of his army so that he has a very strong 2-2 push later on.
Yeah, exactly. And he's already working on that transition as well. We have the Fusion Core for Lib range to get into those Liberators to really maintain control of that ground army. Vindicta has to be careful though, not to throw away too much here as he does want to trade.
Yeah, it's just going to see what little advantages he can get here, trying to see what he can pick off, see if he can get any damage here on the 5th, but Lightweight does have an extremely strong defensive army with the Colossus, with the Disruptors. It's going to be quite difficult for Vindicta to push into this, but push in he does, just taking a few buildings out at the front here.
Yeah, only a couple of buildings going down. At the same time, we have DT harass across the map, but there is a missile turret. There is a planetary 1 DT already goes down. The second is going to have a hard time finding any damage. We have that scan, and with the reinforcements, the DTs get cleaned up.
The wall is not a wall, once again.
No. Mate, we need to sit Vindicta down after this, okay? It's too much.
There you go, mate. You need Gemini's wall guide for Terran. We need the Terran Gemini. Where is he?
Yeah, make your own wall guide. That's content.
Yeah, meanwhile, just push in here. Really nice dodges on the Disruptors there as well. So manages to take out a few of the batteries and the cannons at the front here. And doing a really good job here, just putting some pressure on and starting to trade out a few of his units. He will just want to trade very lightly with the Protoss army here, not losing too much all at once, but he's taking out a lot of the tech units here.
Yeah, exactly. The Colossus went down. A couple of the Disruptors were sniped earlier as well. We do have 3 coming in to help reinforce, so because of that, Vindicta's going to have a hard time. Oh my god, no! Hard time pushing in as we do have a little bit of friendly fire. The Disruptors are so exposed.
Yeah, small miscontrol, and Vindicta doing a really good job, even on the ping, being able to split against these Disruptors and trade off against this army, and he's doing such a fantastic job of trading with the army here, and reinforcing with much higher quality supply. We see the libs coming out, the 3-3, he's going to dive straight on the Disruptors now.
Yeah, exactly. They need a little bit more time to reset their Novas, and they weren't able to reset in time. We have 1 Colossus coming up, but we still have plenty of Vikings left over from earlier. We do see a blink going forward. It looks like Lightweight is finally going to be pushing Vindicta back, getting a little bit of momentum, and this is crucial because he is taking to the skies. We have 3 Stargates. We have carriers on the way.
Yeah, so likewise with Vindicta trying to free up a little bit of supply to go into a higher quality army, Lightweight is doing the same, and if he can get into a nice carrier count here, this is going to draw out the game quite a lot more for him and put him into quite a nice position. We also see him starting to research the gravitic boosters, so he might start to look to get some counter damage of his own done at some point.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it takes a long time to really pump those carriers out. I think we only have a handful of them, so there's still a window here where Vindicta can punish this ground army. Liberators coming in. Range is already done. Stalkers are blinking on forward. They do get a couple of these libs, and the carriers are going to reveal themselves.
This is a fantastic position for Vindicta here. He's able to surround a little bit and jump back from 2 sides at once against these Disruptors, but after trading out, he does need to be a little bit careful not to let his supply get too low.
Yeah, exactly, as we see another aggressive blink on forward just to chase Vindicta all the way back home. Lightweight kind of making a choice here. Does he want to try and press his advantage? No, he doesn't, but no, the miss rally, 1 Disruptor gets thrown away.
Bit of an unfortunate misrally there. That's quite an important unit to be losing here. Vindicta throws down another scan, just keeping an eye on this carrier count. He will need to try to keep tabs on what kind of army that Lightweight is building as he goes further into this game. But we can see on the side of Vindicta actually getting the medevac speed upgrade, getting his 3-3, his +2 ship weapons. he is looking further and further into the game, and he has the gold base established as well. So that's a very important lead that he will have.
Exactly, Vindicta. He's got the economy, he's got the tech, he's got the upgrades. They're all about to finish up. He may not have the most ideal army here against carriers. I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm kind of caught between two worlds. Like, we have Mass Liberator, and I guess the auto attacks can be decent against the interceptors.
Yeah, so Mass Liberator's actually quite good in this situation, partly because the auto attacks can be useful. So what he'll be looking to do is use about half of them to deal with the interceptors, and the other half of them just to help zone out these disruptors.
Exactly. Meanwhile, we see 3 scans thrown down. Vindicta does get eyes on the army. He has to make a choice. He knows the army's out of position, so he can go for his own counterattack. He will force a recall, and we'll see if Lightweight actually opts to recall or try and take another base.
Yeah, so there's gold base going down here, but Vindicta is going to look to trade for an army for an army, but the recall comes back in time and the disruptors are able to push back the army. So this is a really nice move from Lightweight. It's one of the first times in this series that he's really got momentum on his side, and with this army going into disruptors, carriers, and carriers, he's starting to build a very scary Protoss army.
Oh yeah, it's pretty terrifying. We have 5 carriers, 4 disruptors, and a Colossus here. How well is this going to do? EP's blanket the entire army though, and oh god, Nova does go off, does get a decent shot, but Lightweight has to back off.
Yeah, meanwhile we see the 3-3 started up for Lightweight. We see the +1 air weapons coming up. On the side of Vindicta is +2 ship weapons finishing. The armor coming out for the air as well. So looks like both players looking into a late game situation, but a little bit of an aggressive push forward by Lightweight here.
Yeah, exactly. He does catch a couple Liberators on siege, or siege up in the wrong location, so he does get 1 or 2 of them for his troubles. At the same time, there was a little bit of DT harass, but the Liberator is able to clean that up in the end. Vindicta still hasn't been able to re-establish and retake that gold base. He doesn't need it though. He is maxed out, and oh my god, that's a lot of freedom. That's a lot of live zones.
Yeah, starting to get into a really commanding count for the Liberators here, and he will be able to start pushing forward, but the Tempest starting to build from Lightweight are going to put a bit of a timer on this.
Yeah, exactly. Tempests are exactly what he needs, but he only has 1 Tempest right now. The army stims on forward, does bait out a couple of Novas. Novas do not connect.
Yeah, really beautiful splits coming out there from Vindicta. He has arranged his army really nicely against the army of Lightweight here, and he is going to be able to start to push into this base.
Yeah, exactly. Almost gets a Tempest for his troubles. The disruptors are going to be able to zone away the army, but the liberation zones are just cornering Lightweight even further behind his base. There's no way out.
Yeah, this is really nicely done with this huge amount of Liberators, and Lightweight really needs to get this army out of here, but he's just not able to. I don't think he has a recall available.
Yeah, there is no recall available. He used it earlier. We did have a half-decent Purification Nova connecting with those ghosts, but now the Liberators, they unsiege, and now they're diving on top of the carriers.
Yeah, there are no interceptors left at all, and these Liberators, the tickle beams, the auto attacks are going to be able to go after these carriers, and they're going to be able to start DPSing them down. This is actually an insane amount of Liberators here.
Yeah, exactly. The carriers are dead supply right now. The Blink Stalkers are doing whatever they can, but we have a ground army on as well here for Vindicta. The Stalkers, they all get cleaned up, so do the carriers. And with that, Lightweight, he almost has nothing left.
Wow, look at the supply plummet for Lightweight. It starts to go back up with that big warp in of Stalkers, but Stalkers are not the most high quality unit here. They will make it a little bit difficult for these Liberators with the lack of mobility, but having the tech reset so incredibly hard here is going to make it very difficult for Lightweight to find himself back into this game.
Yeah, exactly. And when we have enough Liberators, it doesn't matter how many Stalkers you have, because the entire map is going to be covered in freedom, mate. As just like that, the zones get thrown down, and Lightweight, he just can't engage.
Yeah, this Liberator count is absolutely insane. We could see from Vindicta the way that he pushed the army back into the corner there, and GG is called. Wow, what a game.
GG, Vindicta. Bullying the Protoss into a corner. It's something you don't see too often. I mean, to be fair, like it was great from both sides. It was great to see Lightweight actually make use of his tech, actually get into Skytoss towards the end. But at the same time, he didn't really get to make full use of it. He only ever got up to 5 carriers. He was trying to transition into Tempest as well, but it was too late. By the time he did, there was just so many Liberators.
Yeah, props to Lightweight. I think he played that game really well. I think considering the way that The multitask went for Vindicta in that first game. He recognized where he needed to take that game and was able to play a bit more of a passive style and found himself in a really good position in that game. But I think he just wasn't expecting this crazy lib timing coming out from Vindicta, who went so heavily into the libs and managed to paint him into a corner there. And I guess he just got a little bit unlucky not having a recall on the army at that time. And the game just slipped away from him in such a quick turn of events.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just adding to that and giving more props to Lightweight. There was that move where he was able to just completely shut down and snipe the gold base, then recall just in time as well to make sure he was able to defend as well. Like, you were pointing it out, like, that was the first time that he was able to really make any moves on the map. And when he did, like, boy, did he ever. It was a great moment for him. But at the same time, you could also argue that, like, getting to that point was also maybe a little bit inefficient. Like, I don't think he ever really fully made use of his Phoenixes. That really did also slow him down as well. Maybe he could have gone there a little bit faster. Maybe he could have been a little bit more efficient. But regardless, still great play.
Yeah, definitely. Very competitive game there. But we do see with that CranKy Ducklings pulling ahead with a 2-0 lead. Vindicta doing a fantastic job. Winning 4-0 on maps so far, and he will be going into the next one. So yeah, it looks like Vindicta said, hold my beer, I've got this one, and he's just gonna do it for the Ducklings.
This is where, should I just message Dolan and be like, go back to bed, buddy? Like,
go back to bed, man. He's got it.
Go back to bed. We got this. Then suddenly Vindicta gets 2-0 and it's like, oh my god, no! Come back, puppy, come back.
Like, go back to bed, but put your alarm on.
Oh my god. Turn the stream on and put it on max, mate. If I yell out your name, come, puppy, come.
Yeah, really nice lead for the CranKy Ducklings coming into this one. So, yeah, going really well so far.
Exactly. Who is going to be next? It's on a 3D clan. They still have plenty of players remaining. They have players like Astra. They have players like Oquendo. They have a Zerg player in Strannik. So we could see some more Protoss. We could see a Zerg. No Terrans, so no TVTs. Thank God. That's not going to be available here.
Mate, what's wrong with TVT? You don't like seeing the two weak races just flail against each other hopelessly?
Oh, I love ZVZs. No, yeah, it's great.
Oh. They flail against each other hopelessly in the grand finals of the major event.
All right. Well, speaking of the weakest race, it looks like that is gonna be coming out here and now. The one lone Zerg player is coming out here. Strannik will be fielded by 3D Family.
Alright, so we're going to have a little bit of a different matchup, and I do like this choice from the B clan, 3D clan, sorry, just to mix things up a little bit. Try to throw out a different matchup to test Vindicta in a different way. So Vindicta's already proven himself very strong in TVP. We'll have to see how he can handle the TVZ.
Yeah, we shall see. I'm just gonna let let him know, as the first map has already been decided as well. For those wondering, map 1 is pre-selected by the admins. They do force the first map. The second map is going to be loser's pick, and we are going back onto Cosmic Sapphire.
Yeah, there we go, heading straight back to Cosmic Sapphire, and this is a map. It's a much bigger map than quite a lot of the other ones in the pool. It can be quite difficult to play TVZ on just because of the distance of the maps from distance of the bases, sorry, from each other. So definitely going to be a stiffer test for Vindicta coming into this one. We'll have to see what he has prepared for this map.
Exactly. As he's gonna have to flaunt, a different matchup, a different skill set, a skill set that he doesn't have that much practice with, because you were talking about it earlier. There just aren't a lot of Zergs in North America.
Yeah, this is true. I will say that TVZ does kind of favor his natural skill set in terms of his speed and his multitasking, but yeah, as you've referred to, it is a little bit hard to find practice partners on the NA server, so we'll have to see where he's at with this matchup.
Yeah, we shall see, as we do have that 2-0 lead already, but again, it is an all-kill format. The potential for a comeback is there. For those wondering, we are fielding 4 players, but if 3D clan chooses, they could field 3 players, and the 4th player could be a revive if they want to bring someone back.
Yeah, so with this format, I think it's 3 lives and then an ace revive. Is that right?
It's ace revive, or ace could be a new player if you can choose. You can choose.
Cool. Well, without further ado, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire, the Zerg representative for the 3D clan. It is, in the blue, Strannik.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire, we have the CranKy Duckling himself. He is the American Terran, Vindicta. Alright, do you have any other projects? Do you have a...
No. Absolutely not.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, I, for one, am really anticipating this. It's a little bit refreshing now that we're out of the TVPs, a little bit more variety before us. And yeah, Strannik is fully aware about the caliber of player that Vindicta is. He's already seen how Vindicta has been able to handle himself, but TVZ can be quite different. Already, though, standard opener, hatch gas pool.
Mate, he might know the caliber of player of Vindicta, but Vindicta knows the caliber of race of Strannik. He is playing Zerg, puppy.
Oh god, he is playing Zerg. And you know what, Asher, as a connoisseur of Vindicta's stream, you know, Vindicta, he does stream quite a bit. You know, check him out, Vindicta on Twitch, Vindicta SE2. I think.
Vindicta _ SE2.
Underscore SE2, yes. How does he typically approach this matchup? You know, how is his TVZ looking, mate? Whenever he can play it.
Yeah, so normally with the TVZ, he does usually go for a little bit more of a macro-orientated style, going into a 3cc, that sort of thing. Nothing too crazy usually, but we do actually see him here going for a 2-1-1. So there is a couple reasons he could be going for this. One of them could be that he feels like he's the stronger player in this situation and he wants to put a lot of pressure on. The other possibility is that he knows his opponent, and he knows his opponent does like to go for greedier openings. Either way, it does look like he really wants to be in control of this game from the get-go.
Oh, and already we have an SCV blocking the linear third base here for Strannik. The Reaper is checking to see if there was another drone headed towards the triangular third instead. We even have a depot being thrown down already. Like, Strannik, like, things are just not going well.
Yeah, this is a really nice start for Vindicta, especially if he can force Strannik into a 2-base opener. That is really nice for the 2-on-1 player. He's also trying to force him to go for the triangle base, so this is a nice extra detail with the 2-on-1. If you can force your opponent to take the triangle base, it does really help with this early double drop because it can bounce between the third and the main. But we do actually see Strannik is reacting to the delay on his third by getting a Roach Warren quite fast.
Yeah, here we go. Roach Horn is thrown down. This is a reaction. I'm sure this isn't what he wanted to do. And now it's going to be on Vindicta to scout this. He is fully aware that there is a third base. It is late. His Reaper doesn't have that much HP, so he has to be careful. He has to regen a little bit and get into that main. Meanwhile, Strannik is fully aware of that. He's already in position to try and deny that scout.
Yeah, he's got 6 links up here in the main. It's going to be really difficult for this Reaper to get in. The Reaper does manage to just bring itself back and survive here. But there's 7 Roaches being started up on the side of Strannik, and there's no clue of what's coming Vindicta's way. This is one of the things that can be really kind of awkward about blocking the third of your Zerg opponent, is you don't know if they're doing something like this.
Oh, but somehow, someway, Vindicta was able to avoid all of those links. He does get confirmation on the Roaches that are coming out. He's fully aware about the Roaches that are going to be coming his way, and immediately he throws down 3 bunkers.
Yeah, this is something that I've seen quite a lot from Vindicta. When he's defending these Roach builds, it does definitely go on the safer side, and with a Marina opening like this, it is really important to be as safe as possible. We're seeing as well, instead of switching that starport on for the double medevac, he's going to make some extra mines just to be 100% sure that he's defending this one. So as long as he can get these bunkers up, he should be okay here.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like the bunkers are going to finish. There aren't any Ravagers with this push either, so it's going to be difficult for Strannik to really bust on through. The bunkers are now done. Widow mines are coming out, and Vindicta should be fine here on his 2 bases. Pulls a couple of boys just to make sure everything is standard here, or everything is safe. I think now he has recognized, okay, there isn't going to be too much here, and he actually goes for a Widow mine drop.
Yeah, just using whatever tools that he has here, he's going to try to use those Widowmares just to push back this attack at first and then get a little bit of pressure on the map himself. But we do bring ourselves into a bit more of an even position now. But with this commitment coming out from Strannik, this does set him a little bit behind economically as well. So both players not exactly where they want to be with these builds.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess inadvertently it does force the medevac drop to be delayed here for Vindicta, so Strannik is free to drone up a little bit more, but hopefully he doesn't drone up too much here. Fully aware about the opener, he saw the marine count, he's fully aware of the lack of Hellions, he knows about the 2-on-1, he was able to get a full scout earlier with the Overlord, and he is trying to get himself in position for this.
Yeah, meanwhile, we do see him going for the roach speed and going for the double Evo as well. I do think this is going to be a 1-1 roach style, so this is a good adaptation considering that he opened with the roaches, but I'm not sure that I love this style for the map, actually. This is quite a long map and also quite a good map for defending on, so if Vindicta can sniff out what's happening here and get up to a nice tank count, he should be able to keep himself safe.
Exactly. We'll see if he can get there at the same time. Widowmine drops do get dealt with. Strannik was able to split in time, only losing a single drone or even one drone at the natural, 0 drones in the main. The double drop is trying to find some more damage here, but roaches are split between the main and the third base, and Strannik, he defends.
Yeah, brilliant defense from Strannik so far, doing a really good job splitting up his roaches, also pulling all of his drones really quickly against those mines. So Strannik has been fantastic with his defense so far.
Yeah, exactly, but you know what, that mine comes back. No, the drones are bunched up!
Oh, yeah, a little bit adventurous there, trying to pull the drones to attack that, and Vindicta with a little bit of a retarget there, possibly missing out on some of the damage that he could have got there, but 3 drones is not bad at all for these mines that he didn't really want to have from this opener anyway.
Exactly, so Vindicta adapting on the fly and actually finding some value because of it, getting 4 drones in total. He does lose the medevac, which isn't ideal, but regardless, he was able to get that damage done, able to scout his opponents, and from here, he is transitioning into his bio, getting his third base here now on location.
Yeah, just having a look at this third base here, it is really choky at the front there, so I don't think that a straight up roach push would be well advised for Strannik here, and it looks like he agrees. He's going for roach and burrow. This is a really nice adaptation.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great way to make use of all of these roaches, and if it goes unscouted, it can wreak havoc across the map. Vindicta, it's going to be really difficult to really get eyes on this. Obviously, the model of the roaches do change once Tunneling Claws is done, but whether or not he recognizes it, whether or not he's able to get eyes on it, we'll yet to see.
Yeah, so he's just going to use his drops as much as he can just to abuse the lack of mobility and anti-air with his roach style, so it's going to be annoying as he can and try to get some scouting off. If he can have these drops out on the map and see the Tunneling Claws upgrade on these roaches on Strannik's side of the map, it's going to be a really nice advantage for him.
Definitely. We'll see if he can pull that off. So far, the first drop is just keeping the attention of Strannik here towards the south. Strannik doing a great job at just minimizing losses, but now we have a double drop into the main base. Likewise, there's also roaches here, but nowhere near as many.
Yeah, and from the side of Vindicta, we actually see a turret being started up, so it does seem like he's got some idea of what might be coming his way. I think he's actually sniffed this out.
Yeah, we do have one turret being thrown down here at the natural base, and that will cover him. So I guess either he's anticipating this, or again, he was able to figure it out. I mean, Tunneling Claws did just finish up, and now he has seen these roaches. He's fully aware. He sees the additional spikes, and now we have a second turret being thrown down.
Yeah, so really on top of his scouting here. And Strannik himself as well, he's keeping on top of his adaptations to what's coming out in terms of the scouting of Vindicta and taking his build to the next step.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, this Liberator is going ham here at the third base location. Another drop here towards the natural drop, towards that fourth base location. Strannik is finally being pulled apart. For so long, he was doing such a great job at defending all of his bases, but now suddenly Vindicta has just found damage.
Yeah, I will point out the one disadvantage that we have in the build of Strannik is he has a very low queen count. We can see the creep for this point in the game is not very well developed, and there's also not very much anti-air, so if Vindicta can keep making these Liberators, they're going to be really, really difficult to deal with.
Yeah, I only just now realized that Strannik is working with 4 queens right now. Recently previously 3 queens. Only enough to inject all your bases, and even then he didn't have enough. So yeah, because that he is struggling. Here we go, another Liberator is rocking up. This is forcing a reaction from Strannik. He's going for a massive counterattack, but again, there is detection. Vindicta will have eyes on this.
Yeah, these Liberators, these are actually devastating, but this is very unfortunate time for Vindicta. He's moving out just as these Roaches are coming in, and I'm not sure if he actually has enough at home to deal with this.
Yeah, he turns around, and again, this turnaround may be a little bit too late. He does wall off his main base, and now the Roaches are stuck here at the natural, and they weren't split off. There aren't any Roaches at the 3rd base, so Vindicta will be able to kill all of these Roaches.
Yeah, he does kill off all of these Roaches, but I have to say, I don't think Strannik minds trading these Roaches for SCVs of Vindicta, but yeah, look at what a nuisance these Liberators are.
Oh yeah, I've been here before. Yeah, Liberators in the main, Liberators at the natural, Liberator at the 3rd base, drones are falling left and right, and now finally Vindicta has dealt with that Roach push and he can go for a massive counterattack, and Strannik down in supply, still struggling to deal with all these drops. Still, his army is split up between all of his bases, not really anticipating a massive counterattack.
Yeah, and Strannik, he was actually going into Hydra Lurker, so yeah, it was really important for Vindicta to push here, and push he does and gets the win. What a great game.
GG, well played. Strannik being forced on 2 bases to begin with, does adapt, does go for Roaches instead, but wasn't really able to do any counter damage with them. Vindicta so on point with his harassment, with his drops, with his Liberators, able to be on top of everything and see everything as well.
Yeah, I did a really good job there, and those Liberators, while doing extra scouting, were able to see the transition that was coming his way with the Hydras, with the Lurkers, and realizing that he had to get in there and do damage before he could get to that tech.
Oh, exactly. A great timing there. A little bit unfortunate there for Strannik. You know, he needed a little bit more time to transition out. He actually had a couple of Infestors on the way as well, and that would have been amazing. That would have been amazing for him to actually get his, to actually have them to help support his units and help deal with the bio. Unfortunately, again, just a little bit too late. Ooh. But we are now going over to the land of Europe.
Yeah, so we are setting up over on Europe here, and we have to say as well, Strannik did look quite good in the early game there, until he started to be picked apart by some of the Liberator harass and the multi-prong there. He was doing a really good job with the defense. He was keeping up as well, so I hope that he will feel confident going into the next game, especially if he opts for a more standard Ling Bane style, because it didn't quite look like the Roach style was what he was intending to play from the get-go.
Yeah, it wasn't really what he wanted out of that game. But like, as you were saying, like, mad props to him, because he was doing like a beautiful job at defending, a beautiful job at, especially in the early to mid game, and the mid game itself, able to survive against all those drops, against all the counterattacks, at least until the Liberators showed.
Yeah, absolutely. That was very good recognition of the lack of anti-airs. Bit of a checkmate move there, but we do have another chance for Strannik to try to eliminate Vindicta, who's been, so far, taking on Clan 3D all on his own.
Yeah, exactly. You know, everyone else can rest easy here. I know some of our players are like, you know, they're full of anticipation. They want to also prove their worth to everyone. They want to show that they are also a duckling to be a worthy duckling to be afraid of. But you know what? We'll save him for tomorrow. It's okay. It's okay. Ooh, we have a new map. We have a new map coming up next. We have Waterfall.
Interesting. So Waterfall, very interesting map in terms of TVZ. It does seem like it should be more Terran favored because it's so short, but we have seen in a lot of games recently that the potential for Zerg to go for aggressive builds can be very threatening on this map due to the big open areas at the front. And it can be really tough for the Terran to ever take a fifth, considering how close all the bases are to each other.
Yeah.
So we will be having a small break here just for Vindicta to grab some water. But yeah, going into this one, I think that Strannik will have a plan for a very aggressive build.
Yeah, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, right? Because I 100% agree with you. You know, it's a very small map. You know, the bases are very congested. There isn't that much like kind of room to maneuver around, and because of that, you know, hyper-aggressive styles have an advantage. But Vindicta knows this. Like, we all know this, right? So because of that, there could be some mind games, there could be some metagaming coming in as well, anticipating aggression and preparing for it preemptively. And again, it does benefit aggression on both sides as well.
Yeah. One thing that I have noticed is very strong on this map for the side of Zerg is going for a low drone count Ling Bane style into Ultra. So yeah, I wonder if that's what we're going to be seeing out of Strannik, and it would be cool to see what Vindicta has in terms of a response. I don't think we're going to be seeing a 2-on-1 again.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I'd be very shocked if that was the case. But we'll see. We don't have to theorize anymore. We're about to get the game itself as we are loading on in for the first time tonight into Waterfall.
Puppy, don't.
What?
Don't do it.
What? What am I doing? What?
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Just don't.
And I hope this player spawning in the bottom left doesn't go chasing waterfalls either, as in the bottom left we have the CranKy Duckling hailing from the land of the Americas. He is red. He is Vindicta.
And spawning in the top right hand corner of the map, he is representing the 3D clan. It is our blue Zerg. It is Strannik.
Oh boy, Strannik, the madman, opting to go for the hatch first.
The madman.
He's crazy, Poppy. He's crazy. Hatch first? Oh my god. I've been spending too much time with that next.
No projecting at all.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What am I projecting?
This isn't one of your ladder games, lad.
Oh my god. Look, I'm just saying, okay, if he's picking a small map and he wants to be aggressive but he goes hatch first, look, he's crazy. Okay, he's crazy. Lost his mind.
I'm sorry. My hair, what little is left, it's falling out.
You're like light.
It's gone.
This is a Zerg map pool, Poppy. It's a Zerg map pool. It's
always a Zerg map pool. Yeah, so we do have a very standard opener coming out from the side of Strannik, but he is pulling 3 drones. So I lied. I have no idea what this is.
Yeah, 3 drones are pulled here. Strannik does scatter across them. He does see the CC, by the way. I don't know if maybe he misread a little bit and he, for one moment, didn't see the CC and he maybe thought there was like a proxy or something.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I think that's what was happening.
Yeah? I can't tell if you're, I don't know.
It's like the only thing that makes sense. That's so strange.
Yeah. We have met the enemy.
Meanwhile, we do see the CC going down. We do see a fast factory. I wonder if this is going to be a bit more of this Mario style of a fast marine drop coming out from Vindicta.
Yeah, like, oh my god, already like Strannik getting into his own head a little bit, and I don't blame him, you know, as a Zerg player, right? It's waterfall, you know, Terran map, right? Like that, the likelihood of them going for a proxy is pretty high. But
why would you proxy on this map? What are you talking about?
I'm trying to back up Strannik here, okay? I'm pulling the points, okay? I'm trying to back him up. Okay?
I can't abide this.
Oh my god. But as
straight to jail.
As you were saying, we are seeing those fast Hellions coming out from Vindicta, the first Reaper across the map as well. Just confirming, okay, this time we do have a third base. This time we shouldn't be seeing anything too crazy, but make crazy exactly what Strannik is doing because he is going for Overlord speed.
Yes, so Strannik playing it very safe here with his opening, making 6 lings just to be extra careful, and also going for Overlord speed. Does manage to get his third down without any hassle now, so we will be able to see the game of Strannik, what kind of way that he likes to play his TVs here. It's also a very standard opener coming out from Vindicta, but he does recognize that the lings are missing and he's going to dive straight in with these 2 Hellions.
Oh god, exactly. They got a couple of volleys off already on those drones. 4 drones will go down at the cost of these Hellions, but already well worth it. He gets a 5th drone towards the end.
Yeah, 5 drones, more than enough damage. Considering how early this damage comes in, that's a very good pick-off coming there, and does a really good job just kind of mixing up his play there. That's something that, as a strong Terran tournament player, you do need to have in your arsenal some random Hellion dive timings, and he does manage to punish the slight out-of-position player by Strannik.
Yeah, exactly. You know, no one expects the 2 Hellion dive, but it happens and it deals damage, and it's, you know, what are you gonna do? No, but a great move there by Vindicta, and actually following this up with something more aggressive as well. You were kind of hinting at it earlier. We do have an armory on the way.
Yeah, I think this is reactive. So considering the drone damage that he got those 5 drones, and also seeing the Overlord speed, this does give him the go-ahead to throw down this armory. So this is going to be a Hellion timing. He is going to be able to have some Hellbats, he's going to have a medevac, he's going to have about 5 Stim Marines coming to join this as well. And this is also something that's going to be very effective against a player that, as we saw in the previous game, does skimp a little bit on the queen production. And considering how spread out these queens are as well, I can see this being very effective for Vindicta.
Yeah, speaking of, GG gets called. I was about to bring it up. There was no bailing this. There were only 3 queens. We had a handful of lings. Vindicta heavily ahead in supply, and he takes the game. Strannik doesn't even try to fight it.
Yeah, Strannik recognizing with the lack of queens, with the lack of lings, he just wasn't able to prepare for this at all. And considering the drone losses, considering the Overlord's speed that he did commit for earlier, there's just no way to deal with this. So great job by Vindicta to be on top of the game state, recognize the situation, and know exactly what he needs to do.
Oh, exactly. Very well done there by Vindicta. And mate, who can stop this madman, Miguelito? Oh god, he woke up early in the morning. He took a fun fact, he took a Red Bull first thing. He hasn't even had breakfast. He is running on nothing but wings right now on that Red Bull, and he's already taken down 3 players. 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. There's only 1 player left.
Mate, he's on the jet fuel straight in here, 6-0. And going into this next match as well, I do believe that while it is a best of 2, that's only if Vindicta loses the first game. I think if he wins the first game, that will be a clean sweep. Is that right?
I believe so.
I think that's how it works, because in that case, he knocks out the extra player, right?
Yes, I believe so. I think we may play the game out anyway. The second game out, I mean. But yeah, I'm just getting confirmation here, and yes, he only needs to win 1 game.
Yeah, there we go. So this is a very nice spot coming for the CranKy Ducklings, doing such a great job here. Vindicta doesn't really, you know, you gave him the call, you said, mate, you're going to be first up, you're going to be playing in the team league, and he says, team? What team, mate? I am the team.
Oh god, he is the teammate, at least for tonight. And hop over to NA. We are going over to Land of the Americas. Oh boy, and we'll see who our opponent is going to be. Again, this means that Vindicta, for this potential final game, is going to have that server advantage.
Yeah, so he does have this server advantage with the game that can be for all the marbles here. Also means that, you know, poor Dolan didn't have to get up early.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm sure Dolan, he's like, I hope Vindicta loses. Okay, I want to play it.
I've got all the CranKy Ducklings in the chat cheering on Vindicta. Really good to see that. Even got StarDuck in there taking a little break from his KS2. You know, love to see it.
Yeah, yo, shout out to StarDuck, man. Like, you know, he may always be playing KS2, but he's at least reliable. You know, he's always awake at the most degen of hours. You know, hey, we're playing a tournament at 2 a.m. Yo, StarDuck, I got you, mate. I'll be there. He's always there.
Man, I was born to play the tournament at 2 a.m.
Exactly. Oh god, so he's there if we ever need him. You know, Dolan's there, Eric is there as well. We're all just waiting. Is anyone else going to be needed here, or is Vindicta just gonna come out undefeated?
Mate, look at this roster. Look at the power. Bring on DPG. We'll take him. We got him.
Bring him on. You know, who's on DPG? Zest? No, he retired. You know? Hero? I mean, mate, mate.
Oh.
So, yeah, I had to think about that one for a moment.
Hey, we got Dark, we got Hero,
Yeah,
we got Vindicta.
yeah, mate.
Come at us.
Come at us, mate. Oh my
We got
god.
Eric, we got Vindicta,
Yeah.
we got Dolan. We got all sorts of players. Let's go.
Bring him on, mate. Bring him on. Oh boy. Well, before we get too ahead of ourselves, we still have to defeat our first team, our first opponents, and they still have one player left. Who is it going to be? Looking at their roster, they still got a couple of Protoss players. They got who they got. They have a player called Aquendo. They have Astra, 2 Russian Protoss players, or they could revive someone.
Yeah, so a lot of options here. They'll have to be carefully thinking about who they want to send out here. This is the tournament life on the line, so very important game here for the 3D Clown.
Yes, very important indeed. Did he just message me? He's like, fuck, man, there's so many games.
Wait, you shouldn't have won them all then.
It's like, I'm running out, puppy. I'm running out.
It's not working.
That is something to point out. Like, even because it's like all kill, like, and because it's best of 2s, like, it's a bit of an endurance test. Like Vindicta's played so many games already. 6 games, mate. 6 games.
Yeah, waking up first thing in the morning and banging out 7 games of StarCraft. That sounds to me, like a bit of a nightmare. I'm not gonna lie. That would put me straight back to bed. But I think Vindicta's made a stone of stuff. He should be okay.
Yeah,
especially when you're winning all of them. That helps.
True. And I will say this, and I don't mind saying this. If the Juggernauts are watching, then they'll know. Tomorrow, if we do make it to round 2, I probably won't field Vindicta first. I'll let him sleep in. I'll be like, mate, you put in so much work already. Like, for tomorrow, mate, sleep in. You can come in as the 4th player if you need to. Like, take a well-deserved break. Take a break.
Yeah, definitely depth in the roster. There's other players that can play, so Vindicta, he's done his job. He's definitely he's put in a good shift today, I reckon.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We'll see if he can go all the way. I guess the player that I was what I was about to ask was if they had a revive and if they were going to go for a revive, who would you bring back, Asher? If you were the team captain of 3D Family.
I think Lightweight definitely had the best shot out of the 3 of them.
Yeah, I agree. Lightweight, especially on Cosmic Sapphire, like there was definitely potential there. There were moments where I was getting a little bit worried for Vindicta. I'm not gonna lie, for Vindicta. So yeah, I do agree. If you bring anyone out, it may as well be Lightweight. Bearing in mind, we do know what the map is going to be. It is going to be the final map that we haven't seen today, Stargazers.
Interesting. So this is definitely a map that it's a really nice map for Protoss to play against Terran just because of the potential of that back base. There's a lot of areas where you can blink in. If you go for something like a blink DT, it can be really annoying to deal with that jumping between those 3 bases that are kind of all tucked together there with the main, the back base, and the 3rd or 4th in the triangle. That is something that can be very abusable. And Phoenix Colossus can also be very difficult to deal with, which is a style that we've seen is in his arsenal.
Exactly. We have seen that before. We could do it again. Oh boy, we'll find out. I am just being messaged by some of 3D's players, and they're saying they need a moment. They're still they're having like a bit of a huddle, like they're trying to figure out what they want to do here. Do they want to send out another player? Do they want to revive someone? Like their life is on the line right now. It is that very important decision.
Yeah, this is an important time, and they might want to just kind of gather together and have a bit of a pep talk. Just get that team spirit together. And rally around whoever it is that they're going to send out. So this is, it's really cool to have a little bit of a different format with these team leagues. StarCraft's it can be such a lonely game sometimes. It's such a one-on-one game.
Papi, I'm here for you. Okay, Asher, you're not alone, Papi. I know. Sometimes it can feel like you're alone. You know, I know. I'm not a Terran player.
Terran,
yeah, I know. I don't have that Terran bias like you, but I'm here for you, Papi. I'm here for you.
You're like, Papi, I got smudged by Zerg today, and you're like, good. Send me the replay.
I'm gonna need some alone time with this replay,
Aye, disgusting.
Aye. What do you mean? I don't mate. Look, I'm gonna check right now. Okay, what's my ZVT win rate, Asher? Guess. What is it?
10%, as it should be.
As it should be. 36%, mate. 36. Aye.
Sounds like a skill issue.
True. Oh god. But no, I 100% agree. Like real talk, like StarCraft can be a really lonely game. You know, it is 1v1 and team leagues and team league formats aren't as common as they otherwise used to be, you know, especially now in the day of COVID, where offline events aren't anywhere near as frequent as well. It can be difficult to enjoy the game with other people, and sometimes you can be stuck in this perpetual state of smudging and spiraling, you know, playing ladder and struggling there. So yeah, it's really cool that World Team League is a thing and continues to be a thing to kind of bring all these teams together and have something like this.
Yeah, 100%. It can be, it's really nice to build up, especially with COVID in the last couple years as well, to build up a bit of team camaraderie that way as well. I know that CranKy especially has players from all over the world. We've got players from America, players from Australia, from South America. It's a very wide-reaching team. We've got lots of admin over in Europe as well. So, yeah, bringing the whole globe together.
Oh yeah, exactly. Let's go. We try to bring everyone together as much as we can. Don't have any European players, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm sure maybe one day we will. Iba.
Oh no.
Oh god. But I do have confirmation on the last player, and we are actually going to go to Europe.
Yeah, there we go. So we do have that match set up, and we are going to head over to Europe. I think that is fair, considering we've had all the first games on America, to have this tournament live game on Europe. And I'm sure we'll be able to go over to America for the second game if it comes to that. But Vindicta's shown that the ping is no issue for him.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm of the same mindset. They were asking, hey, for the last game, can we be on Europe? I'm like, sure, let's go, let's do it. You know, why not? You know, it all could come down to this. So we want to give them the best shot that they can, especially with their new player coming out. We are going to be setting up here with our lobby, and their player of choice is going to be the Protoss Astra.
Yeah, so we've got a different player being sent out. We do have the Protoss player Astra, so going for something a little bit different, just trying to mix things up for their final game here. So Vindicta will have to prepare for something a bit more unexpected.
Oh, exactly. He could be wild. He could be crazy. We could be seeing some proxy starports, some proxy rovers, some proxy gateways, or everything could be standard. We will see as the potential final lobby is being made. Oh boy. And it all comes down to this for 3D Family.
Yeah, I do notice as well, looking at that bracket, there's so many teams playing in this team league. So a lot of the slightly, you know, under the top flight teams fighting for these spots that we have opening up. It's really nice to see so much competition. I actually had no idea that there's so many teams, to be honest. There's like 20, 24, it looks like.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams.
22, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
Wait,
teams.
no, I can't count.
You okay? How many?
Why is this so hard? 26.
Are you sure?
That's my final answer.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Don't hurt me.
4, 8, 16, 20, 24. Yeah, 20. Yeah.
You don't trust me?
No, I don't.
That's fair.
26 teams, exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves on Wikipedia. Yes, 26 teams. A lot of matches have already finished up. There's only a handful that are still going on. And I guess because we are going to be waiting for our players to get ready, is there anything we want to go over? Are there any upsets, any surprising results so far?
Yeah, let's just have a little peek over here. I just closed it. I don't know how. I do really like this matchup, Team Roddy versus Team Starcom. I do believe that Roddy's actually casting that over on his channel as well. This is a really nice matchup of players. So we've got Cuckoo and Baby Marines so far for Team Roddy, and Ashbringer and Cast for Team Starcom. And it looks like that they're tied up 1 set each. So this is a really well matched matchup for so early in the bracket.
I 100% agree. I think it's a little bit of a shame that seeding-wise, Team Roddy and Starcom have to face off so early on because they have pretty comparable rosters, as you were saying. They are already going back and forth, so it is a bit of a shame. But if you want to check out Roddy's performance later on, check him out there. We could even just raid them after this, actually, just so we can keep up that WTL, spirit and cheer for another team. So yeah, I know there are a lot of streams going on right now. A lot of teams are covering their own matches. Another big one is Hokage T-Team is going up against CSO Esports. And they're also actually going back and forth as well. I know that Team Liquid, they actually released the power rankings and they actually rated CSO Esports pretty highly, but like they're neck and neck.
Yeah, CSO, having a look at them now, they have a very strong lineup, especially I want to point out Milky Cow. Milky Cow's a player who has done very well in some recent DreamHacks, showing that he can take out the likes of MaxPax. I believe he 2-0'd MaxPax in quite a high-profile tournament game in the last year. So he's a very strong player, one to keep an eye on.
Definitely. So that's another intense series going on over there. Meanwhile, Juggernauts are also going up against Platoon, but we are still here against the 3D family. You can hear the beeps. The players are now ready, and we're diving in to our potentially final map.
Hype. Let's go. Very exciting game coming up here. This will be an opportunity for CranKy Ducklings to get the clean sweep going into the next part of the bracket. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves here, because we have a new challenger in the top right-hand corner here. It is the Russian Protoss in the green, hitting us with the meow have fun. It is Kitten Astra. What is that emote? That's incredible. I want that.
Oh my god, there's a cat in game. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Stargazers, we have the CranKy Duckling himself. Unfortunately, not a cat or a kitten. Representing the Ducklings, hailing from the land of the Americas, it is Vindicta. Going for the all kill.
I don't know who to cheer for.
I was about to say, mate, this guy's a cat. Is he one of yours? Is he?
I think he might be. I'm sorry. We're going to have to put our bias aside for just a moment, because he said meow have fun, so I'm a fan.
True. You know, everyone knows that Asher is the best casting cat out there in StarCraft, and for another cat to reveal themselves, it's pretty amazing.
A challenger.
Yeah, it's a challenger. Oh my!
Is he coming for my casting jersey?
He's coming for the jersey, puppies. Fun fact: we have ordered your jersey, by the way. Like it is.
Let's go.
Coming soon, TM. Yeah.
Soon, TM. Maybe I'll have to put the camera on.
Oh, maybe you can wrap Rufus in it. Maybe you can. Oh my god.
He's gonna kill me. He's gonna have to be the casting cat, because he'll be the only person available.
Oh god!
Yeah.
Don't mess with Rufus, man.
I should have Rufus on my jersey.
Oh god, but so far things are kind of playing out here. Again, we're here on Stargazers for the first time. Vindicta going for that pocket base, already mining out those mineral patches and looking to land on location. At the same time, he's going to be going for a bunker behind that mineral line. Oh my god.
Yeah, Vindicta going for the standard fast expand here, but Yeah, Astra managing to spot this very early. Really nice RNG there on the SCV, or Astra a little bit slow to jump back on that SCV. I don't think he was expecting that to be a spot that the SCV could hide on. And considering how many probes that he pulled, they pulled, this is a very significant delay. Even having that shield battery cancelled, this is a terrible start for Astra.
Yeah, exactly. Like, things just going bad from worse here when it comes to lost mining time on those probes, when it comes to a kill on a probe, when it comes to the cancel as well. A great start here for Vindicta, and we'll see if he can get even more done. Already chipping away the HP of that Stalker. This bunker still not dealt with.
Yeah, and meanwhile, on the other side of the map, this wasn't a double gas expand. This wasn't anything too crazy coming out from Vindicta. He doesn't have to get so much damage with this. It's just to delay the mining, just to get ahead. And this is similar to the build that we saw him using earlier in the series that he had against the first player for the 3D clan. Just going for a very safe, scouting-orientated opening with that Hellion.
Yeah, exactly. Playing it safe, why not? He also is able to confirm the Twilight Council and Robo follow-up here for Astra, so he's fully aware that, you know, we are going to be seeing Imagine Blink, or... Oh, no, not Blink. This man has pulled out of gas.
Yeah, this is looking like it's shaping up to be a charge all-in. And considering how the opening's gone, considering how much damage was done and how much of a delay was there, I actually really like this. I think this is a good adaptation, and I think it might be his best chance to get the win here.
Definitely. Again, this is going to be very committed here for Astra. It's going to be, the onus is going to be here on Vindicta to try and scout and figure out what is going on. What I will say is that because we're on Stargazers, I mean, his natural base is pretty safe and sound, right? Because it's a pocket base, he is safe. He will have the high ground advantage here on his main ramp. So I don't know if Astra's going to have the best time pushing into this. I guess technically with the Prism, he could try and bypass and go straight into the natural instead.
Yeah, so usually with this build, you are looking to just ferry over some of those units, especially with the mineral wall at this natural. If he can use that to ferry over some zealots and then warp in another round of them, he can be very aggressive with that. I love this Stalker move out as well, just to clear up the map vision before he does that. But this is a really nice scan for Vindicta. He does see the lack of gas mining if he's paying attention to that. He sees all these gateways. He's going to know that something very aggressive is coming his way.
Yeah.
And yeah, very important for Astra to clear up this sensor tower here first.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Vindicta already had control of that tower, so he repositions the rest of his army. He has a tank already in location. He has a bunker on the way. Raven comes out to disable the War Prism if he ever needs to. And Vindicta has already deflected the first wave, but only the first wave because we have more gateways finishing up.
Yeah, Vindicta building a bunker in each base. He knows exactly what kind of build is coming his way. Even building a Viking to help deal with this Warp Prism once it comes through. Vindicta is very well prepared for what's coming his way.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the bunkers, he's got the tanks, he's got the Ravens. He's just waiting for his opponent to come to him. And again, Astra, there's no kind of transition point from here. He hasn't pulled back into gas. He hasn't taken the third base. He's still committed into the charge lots.
Yeah, this is completely all in, but he does not have an angle to attack here at all. This bunker is very well placed. The tank is very well placed. This Viking is just going to zone out the Warp Prism, and Vindicta is giving it nothing to Astra.
Yeah, exactly. Even chips away at the whole damage of that War Prism, even pulls some boys and is able to repair that depot wall as well. There's still no way in. Vindicta is not budging. And Astra makes probes.
Yeah, I understand that Astra is not able to get any progress here, but I just don't see how he's going to be able to find a way back into this game if he doesn't get some damage. I would like to see him rotate around to the second base towards the back here, see if he can get anything done here. It does look like that is what he's going to do. But on the side of Vindicta, once his stim and combat shield's finished up, he's going to have a very strong time here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the problem here, is this was designed to be a two-base all-in, and transitioning just puts you behind. He is throwing down two forges again to double upgrades. He's throwing down a third base here as a pocket base, so he's, you know, looking to take those steps to get into a bit of a better mid-game, but the problem is that he has to survive and get there first.
Yeah, meanwhile, I do actually really like this choice. I think Astra's played this game, in terms of his build choice, in terms of his strategy choice, I think he's played this very intelligently. He's realizing that in order to get back into this game, he's going to have to be a bit greedy. So he's going for the extra upgrades, he's going for the Robo Bay. He's going to see if he can get away with this, which is, you know, quite an intelligent way to proceed.
Exactly. I mean, you have to, right? Like, if you want to come back into this, you have to take risks. It's a part of what can make, you know, a great player. And we'll see if he can get away with it. We see a scan. Vindicta does confirm, okay, you're trying to expand from here. You're trying to take a third base. I'm going to get in position and deny this. But again, this is going to give us Astra a little bit of time. The bay is about to finish up, and then he can start working on his Colossus or Disruptors.
Yeah, I will say though, this is a horrible position for him to deal with. I don't see any way for him to dislodge these tanks.
Yeah, they're really entrenched here in between the bases. We see the cancel on the third. Astra going to try and expand here linearly towards the south instead. He does already have a Nexus on the way. The bay is done. We still don't have a unit coming out of that robo.
Yeah, interestingly, we also don't see +1 armor started up. We don't see the thermal land started up either. So I think he's feeling a lot of the pressure of this push to just spend all of his extra money on units for the moment.
Yeah, exactly. And he's trying to get whatever warpins he can. But you know what? The tanks are edging on closer. We have the anti-armor missile, and it does connect with the majority of the army. Zealots coming from behind, though. We have a full surround.
Yeah, really nice move there with the Zealots just to get this around. He is going to be able to take out the Raven and the Viking as well. Vindicta's going to immediately send that drop in behind the natural here. So just keeping that pressure up is going to start healing up those units to see what damage he can get, but thinks better of it.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, that was best case scenario for Astra. Obviously, he didn't try to engage into that entrenched position with all those 3 tanks. He was able to go for the full surround as well. Vindicta also doesn't know the full kind of situation right now. He hasn't been able to scout and confirm whether or not Astra is stuck on 2 bases or not.
Yeah, meanwhile for Astra, we do see Blink and +2 started up. We see the Colossus production on the way. This is a very fragile moment for him, though. His army is a little bit of a short-term army. Doesn't have many Zealots, doesn't have any Archons to strengthen it either, but he does have a healthy Zealot count. Vindicta is going to be able to start shaving those off, though.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of Zealots. The first one shot is going to go off only on 1 Zealot. Nice peel there from Astra, able to minimize the amount of splash damage done by that first mine shot. Meanwhile, Vindicta recognizes that he can't really break the frontal position, so he's going to go for a bit of a drop.
Yeah, he's going to be able to start abusing this back position here, and Vindicta is putting on so much pressure on the map, so much map control, and oh, a little bit unfortunate for Astra. They're getting those Zealots caught out. He really needs every one of his units at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't quite anticipating the army rotation of Vindicta. At the same time, drop doesn't find too much damage. Astra is able to protect his main base, but what about that main army? He's looking to try and dive on top of the Colossus. Doesn't go for it. Goes for a mule.
Yeah, a little bit of an accidental mule drop there. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yep.
I think he was trying to burrow the mines.
Yep.
The hotkey is the same for mine burrow and for mules.
Yeah, the same.
It is, trust me.
Yeah, it's all the same key. It's all the same key. He actually just tried to stim. But reinforcements are coming across the map as well. Astra still trying to rotate around, still only working with 1 Colossus. Scratch that, 0 Colossus.
Yeah, dives on the Colossus, and Vindicta in a very commanding position on the map here. Really happy just to trade out units. If he can trade out for these power units, that's going to be great for him. A little bit of a retarget there on the mines. Does send the drop into the main as well, recognizing that this Colossus has been rerouted. And he is going to be able to put on a bit of multi-pronged pressure there, taking out both Colossus.
Yeah, a bit of a miss rally there. The Colossus does just wander into that battlefield, into all those Marines. It does go down. The drop in the main base has been cleaned up. Widowmine shots are going to go off. It looks like there are enough gateway units to push this back for now. But behind this, we have more Vikings. We even have a Ghost.
Yeah, and this army just is not an army with any longevity for Astra. All those Colossus being reset, that was a very important part of his defense, and Vindicta just being such a nuisance with these units, just constantly fighting, constantly trading, and forcing attention from the Protoss.
Yeah, exactly. And there we go. A beautiful EMP on the majority of that army. The rally just doesn't stop. He's taking a 4th base behind this as well. Astra has been able to hold on to his 3 bases, and his mining has been half decent. But again, another EMP on the Warping and Zealots.
Yeah, nice burrow on the mines there as well, just to prevent any friendly damage. And Vindicta finds himself in a very commanding position here, even jumping on this 1 Colossus as it comes out. And it does look like he's got a chokehold on this game and the life of the 3D clan.
Yeah, exactly. No Colossus, no Zealots, no Stalkers either, as there are only 4 Stalkers remaining. We do see the army just stimming on forward, targeting or going into that main base, and Astra just doesn't have much left over. The shield battery even goes down. There is no overcharge.
Yeah, and I mean, props to Astra as well. This is his clan's tournament life on the line, so he's going to fight it out tooth and nail to the very last, but it is such a difficult position he finds himself in, down half the supply of Vindicta here, and starting to lose his natural. I just don't think he's got enough to defend here.
Yeah, there's just not enough. The natural has been broken. We have a couple of Archons coming in, which is great, but again, too little, too late. They get targeted down one after the other. Meow, GG. The caddy mode as Vindicta takes the game, takes the series. He all kills 3D Clan.
Wow, what a strong showing from Vindicta there. Manages to take out the entirety of the 3D Clan's representatives on his own for the 7-0 map score. What a strong start to the season for the CranKy Ducklings.
Oh, GG, well played. Not gonna lie, I was a little bit worried there for a moment, especially early on in the overall series against 3D Family. But oh my god, Vindicta just looking so solid here, disproving any disbelievers about North American terrain against North American talent. Vindicta comes out, doesn't drop a map.
You know what it looks like to me, Puppy?
What does it look like?
PvT is unwinnable.
Unwinnable, mate. Unwinnable. And TVZ. Sorry, ZBT, you know?
No. I didn't say that. I would never say that.
I also, but they're just messaging me. He was like, it was an accident. I'm tired. Okay, I'm tired. When it comes to the mule.
It was an accident to battle mule. It's just reflex.
Yeah, it's reflex. You know, it just happens. You gotta do it at least once. You know, in a TVP in a ladder session.
Yeah, and with that is the first day done for the CranKy Ducklings. So, we will have our next match coming up tomorrow, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so be tomorrow at the same time. We will be facing the winner of the Juggernauts and Platoon, and it looks like those two teams actually neck and neck so far. The Juggernauts ahead 3-2, but looks like me and Mike are actually tying up with Nikic 1-1.
Oh, yeah. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket. B-Store coming off strong here, taking down some of the more unknown amateur players of Platoon, but Nikic cleaning up a little bit, and yeah, this series is becoming closer than I would have anticipated.
Yeah, very strong showing there by the Belarusian Zerg. That's quite an impressive two players to do so well against. So that one's going neck and neck, and we'll be facing the winner.
Yes, exactly. We are going to be facing the winner of Platoon and the Juggernaut, so we are going to be paying very close attention to how that series plays out. Meanwhile, when it comes to the rest of the tournament, it looks like Baby Marine is still holding on strong here for Team Roddy, and he was able to 2-0 cards. So Team Roddy is doing quite well for themselves. CSO Esports and Hokage T team, they're still tied up 2-2, so they're still duking it out. Yeah, still plenty of matches going on, but a lot of teams are also getting eliminated.
Yeah, that is one of the facts of how this goes. There is going to be a lot of teams that have to say goodbye. Only 4 qualifying spots that we're all fighting for here in these 3 rounds. And having a look at this bracket as well, we do have some very strong favorites coming in here. We have Onside Gaming. That's terrifying, mate. I think we got a little bit lucky having them on the other side of the bracket. I'm not going to lie.
I know, right? Like, I'll be honest. I've said this before and I'll say it again. We're in a Discord with all the WTL team captains, and before the bracket was revealed, everyone was like, please don't put us up against Onside. Don't put us up against Onside. Don't do it, puppy. Don't do it. Like, Onside is a brutal team, and we got so lucky there in the sense that we are just on the opposite end of the bracket. Obviously, I would love to play against Onside and it'd be a lot of fun, but the likelihood of us beating Maru, Solar, and Neeb and Rex when he's on fire, like, it's a terrifying team.
Yeah, definitely the favorites there. Of course, they are coming through the bottom side of this process just because they are a new team. So they do have, the likes of Maru, Neeb, Rex, Solar. That's an insane team. Definitely a team that could even be challenging for the title at the end. But we have lots of other strong teams here as well. Root Gaming, I want to point out, has like a very strong lineup there as well. Quite a lot of strong players on the team there. And also, I'm going to be keeping an eye on Berserker and License to Kill. I know License to Kill actually has Percival on their team for this team league.
Yeah, they License to Kill LTK. They signed Percival just for World Team League, so a very hot pickup. It's still going to be like, again, a brutal series, LTK versus either Roddy or Starcom. Again, like the seeding there was pretty brutal for them all to face off against each other. But I'm happy that we are avoiding all of that. Where they can duke it out whatever they want. We have our own portion of the bracket, and again, I'm feeling pretty confident about ourselves. We actually just got an update on Juggernauts versus Platoon.
Yeah, so it looks like Juggernauts actually taking the win there. So Gogo Joey was able to clinch out that ace match, and they will be going ahead. So we will be facing the likes of Bystalk, Mia Micah, Gogo Joey with that Juggernauts team. So quite a stiff test ahead of us there.
Oh yeah, exactly. I think I saw Calibre in the chat earlier. He was actually in my Twitch chat earlier as well as I was streaming. Calibre is the team owner of the Juggernauts, and we were both smudging a little bit. We were like, like, why do we have to play against each other? Like, we're good friends. Like, we have a lot of close relationships with the players of Juggernauts. You know, they're the best of Southeast Asia, essentially. You know, or they're some of the best of Southeast Asia. And it's such a shame that the Ducklings have to go up against the Juggernauts. Like, only one can advance on, only one can qualify.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough match, and a little bit of foreshadowing for that one as well. I wonder if Vindicta is going to be able to get his rematch against Mio Micah.
Ooh, yeah, let's get that rematch going. I'd love to see them duke it out once again. But again, I'll say it, and I guess spoilers for tomorrow. I have told Vindicta that he can sleep in a little bit, and we won't field him first tomorrow, you know, just so he can rest up. You know, he's earned that rest. I see him, he even resubbed to the channel. I need a raise. And hey, I mean, the payouts for World Team League are pretty good, and all the money goes towards the players that compete. So, you know, that's the raise you're getting.
Like, yeah, Vindicta, look at that. Look at that money at the top there. That could be yours.
Vindicta, we helped you go to Valencia. Okay, calm down, buddy.
Yeah, like, mate, that 4-0 was good. You got some more.
No, but really well played by Vindicta, by Miguelito. He's there in the chat. He's a great player. He's also a streamer, so click on his name in the chat. Check out his Twitch channel because there's a lot of good content there. He's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah, able to show his quality as a player. Definitely want to keep an eye on with the coming DreamHack on the way as well. But yeah, very exciting match coming up tomorrow. I'm pumped for that one.
Oh yeah, I'm excited as well. I'm just letting all the players know that, okay, we're done for today, we're done for the night. But again, it was honestly, despite it being a 4-0, it was a pretty long broadcast as well, 2+ hours. Oh my god, Vindicta. Gee, that's a lot of games. It's a lot of StarCraft. And maybe we can all kill again. You know, I'll slip into the DMs. You know, who else? Which other CranKy Duckling wants to all kill? You know,
who's feeling it? Who's got the flames ready to go tomorrow?
Exactly. Who is it gonna be? We'll find out. But everyone in the chat, I hope you all enjoyed yourselves, because this is the debut of CranKy Ducklings in World Team League, and we're going to keep going, and we're not going to stop anytime soon. I believe we can qualify. Not just for Code A, I believe we can qualify for Code S.
Wait, I'm calling it for tomorrow. Stolen got 7 builds. Because I've seen the Dolan builds. Yeah. I believe in the Dolan builds.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping for that as well, because I want to steal all of them. I'm like, if I'm casting them, I got the replays.
Oh my god.
I want the builds.
Shaking my head. But yes, Dolan will be coming out tomorrow at some point. I will also say, I don't mind saying this either. Patty Mac, I was talking to Patty Mac yesterday, and he was talking to me about today's matches, and he was like, mate, I have class tomorrow. I can skip class if you want, and I'll play. And I'm like, no. I'm like, it's mate, study first. I'm like, it's okay.
Education is important.
Yes. I'm like, mate, don't skip out on your classes. Go to class. It's all good. We'll save you for the weekend. We'll save you for the next round. So Patty Mac is another big name that, you know, don't sleep on him either. I know he didn't have the most impressive result at Valencia or in DreamHack North America this year, but for Valencia, but he's still another very strong contender, very strong Protoss in North America.
Man, we got that secret weapon. It's great to have him back, the most recent rejoining member of the CranKy Ducklings.
Exactly. Patty Mac is back here on the CranKy Ducklings. We also have Eric as well. Eric is another wild card. He's one of the best players in all of Latin America. And we didn't get to see him today, but he's also just very unpredictable. You know, he can play macro, but he's also a very cheesy, a very wild player. So put him up against anyone and he can bring anyone down, especially in these best of 2 formats. And then, of course, we have Starduck, who may not have the greatest of accolades, but he has a personal history with all of these Southeast Asian players. Like in Juggernauts, he has taken maps and taken series off of players like Beastlork and Ender and Gogo Joey and Mio Micah. Like Starduck has it in him as well. And prime DJ Hours, you know, he's in his element.
Yeah, not to talk him up too much, but I just want to throw out the last time I saw him play against Mio Micah, he looked very strong. That was a very dominating game. It does seem like one of the strengths that Starduck has as a player is his game planning, and he's been able to kind of work out the later style of Mio Micah.
Oh yeah. Again, he has a lot of experience with Mio Micah. That's something that a lot of these European players don't have, and that's maybe an edge that we do when it comes to coming from his respective region and his respective ladder, his stomping ground. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting series tomorrow against the Juggernauts. I wish them the best of luck as well. Personally, I would say, you know, whether it's the CranKy Ducklings or the Juggernauts, I want one of us to qualify. You know, we want to go all the way. It's got to be one of us, mate. One of us.
100%.
Take that, CSO Esports. Yeah. Oh no. What is this beef? Oh god. With that, thank you so much, Asher, for joining me today. Do you have anything else you want to add? Do you have anything you want to say about our performance today?
It was not Smurge. It was very, very poggers.
Very poggers indeed.
You're welcome. We pogged out.
We pogged hard, mate. We pogged hard for Vindicta. Oh god. With that, thank you so much everyone for watching. Again, we only casted our own series. There are still other series going on. We are going to give someone a bit of a raid, and if Roddy is still live, we may as well send everyone over. Yes, he is. Team Roddy versus Team StarCom.
Let's go. Very excited to see this game. Some really awesome Terran players over there on the side of Roddy as well, so I'm going to be watching closely.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hope everyone in the chat enjoyed themselves. Asher, if people want to follow you, where can they find you? I've heard that we have a new PC on the horizon.
Yeah, so the parts are slowly starting to get their way here. I'm just looking now at my graphics card on my monitor, just kind of sitting there sadly, waiting for the rest of it to come here. But once that's all good to go, I reckon we might have to look at having a little bit of a cheeky stream.
Oh, I look forward to it. Let us know. We'll set you up with some overlays, Pappy. So we'll set you up with some overlays. We'll get you looking nice, beautiful and pretty. Okay.
I'm going to be asking you how the hell to do all of it. You're going to be like, leave me alone. I've just casted 500 hours in a row. I don't want to do this. I'll be like, Poppy.
Oh, God. Hey,
I'm going to stream and you can snipe me. You can get your revenge.
Why would I snipe you? You're just gonna force me to play mech. Oh god. But yes, you can follow Asher over on his Twitch channel, AsherBro on Twitch, AsherBrother1 on Twitter, because I'm sure he's gonna be tweeting when he goes live, right?
Sure.
Check him out there. You can follow me at light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I stream throughout the week. God. As long as I don't die. I'm probably not going to be streaming over the weekend because we have a lot of casting to do. Speaking of, tomorrow in less than 24 hours, we will be casting round 2 of World Team League. We are going up against the Juggernauts. We have some time to prepare. We will be preparing for Mio Micah, Ender, Gogo Joey, and Beastlork. Ooh, and we'll see how we do. We'll see how we do there. So everyone, be sure to tune in tomorrow. Less than 24 hours. Be there.
Yeah, it's going to be a hype game. Juggernauts, they're a very exciting team. These Southeast Asian, the Zerg players especially, they have their own crazy styles. So whichever way that it goes, they're going to be great games.
Oh yeah, they're going to be amazing games, mate. And we'll see you guys there. With that, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Check out Team Roddy and Team Starcom. We'll give them a bit of a raid, and we'll see you guys there. Ciao.
Ciao. Good night.